deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, aggressive new show. Let's be history. I am your host, Marlon, along with Theas. And today's show, which, by the way, this will probably be the first time that I actually have to do this. I actually have to explain Saturday Night Vibe, and along with Anna Hart. Hello,
Hey, Anna.
Anna. I have to explain what Saturday Night Vibe is. The reason I have to explain it is because of exactly what Parker said. The first person to speak is we are 5 away from our first 400 subscribers. So we are getting brand new subscribers. It literally blew up over our break. We have the last I realized it was 47 new subscribers from this time last month. So I have to explain to everybody who's brand new, who was watching the show Saturday Night Vibe, to explain that Saturday Night Vibe is a more lighthearted version of Radical Truth to Power, which is what everybody, the majority of the people who subscribe to the show, subscribe. Their reasoning for subscribing to it was our show on systemic racism and the breakdown of it. So if you're coming for the more radical version of us, that is tomorrow. Plessy v. Ferguson, which gave you the birth of separate but equal in America. That is the show tomorrow. If you're coming for that today, this is not today's show for that. This is a more lighthearted, where now, granted, like I've always said, even when we sit here and say we're just going to do lighthearted shows, it still winds up being social. It still winds up being political. It just really depends on what the story is. So if you want to stay here and stay tuned to it, cool. Just about to give you the heads up for it. But greetings to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for all the comments that we had on darn near, I think every video that I popped up over the over our vacation, over our day off, or however you want to say it. I appreciate it. Some were kind and thought hard. Well, I'll tell you truthfully, the majority of them was kind and lighthearted, and thank you. I appreciate it. Some of them was the usual. I'm even gonna say some. Honestly, I can think 3 at the most, and well, 2 was the usual troll, get over it, and then 1 who, quite honestly, I have absolutely no idea what the heck you were saying. So I'm gonna count you in your own category by itself, because yeah,
darkness,
give me your darkness. Yeah, though you was out there, buddy. Hello, Captain. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Parker, it's a lighthearted truth to power.
Truth to power. I like that. Hi, baby.
But so long as I'm here, if you see this mug, this face, there's gonna be some serious stuff. Just saying. I suck at fun. I do.
Yes, he does. He's bad. So to go ahead and give you what's going to go on right now. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to stop talking because I took up everybody's 10 minutes before we started the show. So, what's going on, this?
Nothing much. This is the month where I start putting together a lot of content. You guys won't see it because it'll be set aside. But this is the month for me to get serious. And yeah, I suck at that too, because folks, if y'all don't know this, I hate to record. For those of you out there who don't know, I hate it. Like, it's the thing I hate to do. So I'm having to make myself do it. And boo. Other than that, everything's cool, man. This month my baby goes to Europe. She's gonna go on her first airplane trip, and it'll be the first time away from her family like that. So you know, this is a big deal for her. And then it's also, you know, my anniversary is this month. So that's 17 years. So yeah. Busy month.
Al?
Oh, it's been a busy month. And we're only a couple days into it. I really can't share much, but my support group been very active, and the connections that we are getting out of our work is starting to pay off. So I'm tired, but it's like that I have worked for it tired, and it feels good. So yes.
That's good. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. I would truly appreciate it. Again, because I just don't want to let it be like I'm just playing it off like we've been doing this for a while. But I truly appreciate all the new subscribers, because I was taken aback. Sorry, just so I appreciate it. Chances are we'll get a lot of people watching this show and tomorrow's show, or you'll be watching the shows once I break them up. Either way, again, thank you very much. And without further ado, let's get this party started. just a side note, something else that just popped in my head. One of the reasons why I always say that I wanted to do this show is for when my time is over, I would love for my family, especially my children, my grandchildren, to look back on, not only the history of what we had to live through, but our thoughts and our process for it and everything. So I want to just add this real quick because that's what I want the future to hold. To my grandson, happy 7th birthday, little man.
Happy birthday!
My little KK is my little KK. How old are you? 6, 7? You 67? No, I said 6 something. Then I meant to say 7. I said, okay. Yeah, I'm almost 10. That's not how math works, but okay, we're gonna go with it. You do
Hey, he's
literally
closer to 10 than he is to 2.
Yep.
Stand up for yourself, little KK. You got this, Grandpa
I'll
being.
let it go. But that's equivalent of saying I'm almost 40. Yeah, that's so. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our stories. This is a series. It's 3 videos. So it already has an update to an update. So let's go to get into it. Brother-in-law is my marriage.
Originally posted January 29th, 2024. I, female 38, met my brother-in-law, male 38, at uni. He asked me out in our first year and I refused. He called me the C word and that I am shallow. My best friend told me that they were harmless comments from a drunken guy who got rejected. I never thought myself shallow. It was his demeanor and awkwardness that was off-putting to me. Anyway, he proved my friend right, and other than these mean comments, I have never felt uncomfortable during my uni years because he never bothered me again. Not even looked my way. Next time I met him was when my baby sister, female 28, introduced him as her boyfriend. I didn't even recognize him at first because it was like 9 to 10 years since that day he talked to me. He was visibly annoyed that I didn't recognize him and called me a liar. The family was skeptical at first about him, but he seemed to treat my sister right and she seemed happy. He's very rich. Taking her all over the world, and he seemed kind with her too. They got married after a year of dating. They now have 3 children. I met my now ex, male 40, 5 years ago, and the only odd comment from my brother-in-law was that I was still as shallow and superficial as I was in uni. Well, if that was the case, wouldn't she be with his rich ass? At the time, I took it as a joke, but in hindsight, when I found out the truth and started thinking back, looking for red flags, this was probably a big one. He never showed any signs that he disliked my husband, or he was always decent enough about his indifference to have a close friendship with my husband, and I didn't seem odd because he was always a recluse. A year ago, my husband came home and accused me of cheating, and he had evidence. The guy contacted him and he had nudes, etc. of me on his phone. The guy told my husband that he didn't know at first that I was married, but as soon as he found out, he contacted my now ex. He even apologized to my husband. I'd never met this guy my entire life. Nothing I said or did made my husband believe me. He left me and our divorce is pending. Then yesterday, that guy contacted me. He apologized for what he did and told me that he is friends with my brother-in-law. He sent me endless conversations my brother-in-law had about me for 5 years. He's never forgotten that I, in his words, didn't even give him the chance and only judged him by his looks. He called me the C word in that chat too. Or both groups chats with his friends, but mostly with this guy. They planned this attack and my brother-in-law somehow got access to my photos. The reason this guy contacted me now is that he felt guilty because even when my marriage is over, my brother-in-law was still angry and hateful, especially when he heard that I was on a date last weekend. So the friend felt that he didn't help his friend, but ruined innocent people's lives. Well, yeah. You're just now realizing this, brozo? Not sure what to do. My brother-in-law has actually been happier and more sociable than usual since my divorce, and now I know why. Although first I thought he felt sorry for me and wanted to support me. His jokes about me ending up an old maid with cats as companions don't sound like jokes anymore. He meant them. I don't want to ruin my sister's life. She's very happy with her husband. I'm not sure either if I can with her husband. I'm not sure if I should tell my ex or not. I'm very heartbroken that he didn't believe me. I love him very much. He's the love of my life, but I'm not sure if I can forgive him for not believing me. But he is a victim in this too, so maybe he needs to know for closure. I'm so terribly sad and hurt. I'm sorry this post has gotten very long.
So, okay, y'all gonna say I'm victim blaming, but Um, why? It's just I'm Gen X, so we don't function like everybody else. Okay, no, actually, that's not even fair because some of y'all wild too. Um, the hell you got nudes on your phone? Like they're yours, okay? So nobody had any business getting nothing out of your phone. But how does your brother-in-law get access to your phone? One, and then two, why you got that out there? Like, because you got them in there because you were showing them to somebody. So I'm gonna have to assume you were sharing them with your husband. And if that was the case, then he's already seen them. So it would actually help you with trying to prove your point or express your case, which is still gonna be uphill because a cat like me will just be like, but still, I'm just that part has me flummoxed. And other than that though, yeah, your sister's husband, he's just horrible. Like I can't even say that he wants you for himself. I don't even think that's the line.
No.
He's just a vindictive, mean person. And so he's gonna make your life hell so long as you have somebody. Because it's not that you should be with him, but it's that you should have been with him. It's like that's all it is for him. Like so him even being with your sister is probably an act of revenge. You know, it's wow, man. But I'm still lost at the yeah.
The pictures.
Yeah, because you're not gonna look. This is like the story we had with where Shorty went out with her sister-in-law and got set up, and you know, it's similar to that. Hey, bad things happen, but I'm not gonna be the one to forgive you. We done. So deuces to you. So now you done ruined all these people's lives for what? Just silly. It's just crazy.
Um, I it's very rare that I ever say this about another human being. But this brother-in-law has fallen into that category. So that shows you how rare I actually say something. I don't want anything to happen to the brother-in-law, but if it does, I won't care. I just won't. You won't even see me blink. Do you understand how much energy you used up for your malice to go and do something like that? Now, let me take a side step to the friend. I'm not even understanding what you was supposed to be helping with, or you was setting somebody to destroy their marriage for the brother-in-law so he can, I guess, I'm so confused about that because I don't understand if you're literally telling me my friend feels bad about this girl who wouldn't even date him, and I want him to feel better. So I'm going to help him set up. Obviously, people you don't even know because the woman said, I never knew this guy before. So to help break up this marriage, to make my friend feel better about what, I have no idea. Just for
I
you
don't
to
think
go, oh, I feel bad. Not to say I feel bad because I broke up a marriage. Like, you know what? I just broke up a unity. I should have done that. No, you decided I'm going to tell everybody I feel bad because it really didn't help my friend.
yeah, I think this is one of those times where the brother-in-law, we don't know what, because there's not enough detail given to us for this part of it. Like the brother-in-law probably set up a whole or elaborate explanation for why all this stuff was going down, right? So his boy was just being his boy, like, because first to be friends with somebody who moves like that, you already ain't quite right. So your boy gives you a story. that he knows that you'll buy, and then out of loyalty, you back your boy up, and then you realize, wait a minute, something really ain't right here. So then you come clean to the person that you hurt, which is an act of maturity, right? It's not an act of maturity what you did to create all this. There's an act of maturity to go to the person that you harmed and was like, yo, this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This is what happened. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry or whatnot. Still, blank you, dude. But that's still an act of contrition that happened. That's a mark in his favor. But the brother-in-law, I'm pretty sure he spun a whole thing behind that one.
All right, Anna.
So I'm going to come right out and say, boundaries. You need to separate yourself from your brother-in-law. I don't care if she has pictures and it could have been in her phone and hacked. It didn't have to be put up or shared anywhere. A lot of people do that, especially in the day of dating on the internet. It happens a lot.
But she married though.
This was in her past. It could have been. I really
right.
don't
It could have
care.
preceded the marriage. You're right. Yeah. I mean, she was invasion of privacy. Period. But yeah.
Yes.
And
if anybody is thinking about putting themselves in somebody else's marriage, check yourself.
Agreed. I also think that if you ever consider, hey, y'all, I said this back when this was like big time, like 5-10 years ago when everybody was doing this and Facebook Messenger and all this. I said it back then. Don't be taking pictures of your private parts and putting them on the internet. You better stop it, dummy. What's wrong with you? Sending pictures of your third leg to folks and or sending your external, chesticles to people, and then you sitting here, you got your business all out in the streets. That stuff don't go away. Don't go away. And then what happens is the person who got it, you think they're just gonna sit on that? Nah, they're gonna show their homeboys or they're gonna show their homegirls every single time. That's how it works. So now, you know what I'm saying, all your businesses out there, it only takes a moment like this for somebody to do what they. That's why we even have the term revenge porn. Like that's what this stuff even comes from. If you don't take a picture of your junk, you wouldn't have this particular problem. And yes, I'm blaming the victim on that particular level because you didn't have to take a picture of your junk. You've been looking at it your whole life. What you taking pictures of it for? I can find better resolution with better lighting on a website anywhere. I don't need yours. I will see you in person. So there you go.
All right. Ooh, that took a spin, but okay. I mean,
well, I personally agree. I just don't care. It's a body. We can get body parts.
But if you just believe it's just a body, then there's no shame in it. So there's no nothing. No one can use it against you. But if you're the type of person that you feel like this can be used against you, then it's not just a body anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like if me showing this at your job is gonna make you, then obviously this ain't just your body, because you understand the social impact that can come from it. Regardless of what you believe about yourself, you recognize the social import of this. So why even create that? Yeah,
it is on its surface. It's just a body part. It really is. But let's be real. There are certain body parts, and then there are body parts. Like, there's nobody that sit there and say, "Ooh, can you send me a close up of your eyes?"
Well, there's
Ooh,
a few out there. There's some freaky deekies out there now. There's some freaky deekies. Hey, let me get that pinky toe. I need that pinky toe. Give me that pinky toe.
You know what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on to part 2 of the video.
Ooh, boy, that's a smoking hot earlobe right there, boy.
Okay, can we have a little bit of clarification? We have the original poster who is now divorced. That is her ex because of the brother-in-law's friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
The brother-in-law's plan, but the brother-in-law's friend was the one who executed it.
Okay, thank you.
On the behest of the brother-in-law's whole mental, you should have been with me when I told you to.
It's a small
right there.
Let's just call it the way it is. You should have been with me when I said I wanted to be with you. And it's been
they run in a small circle, dog.
For all 10 years.
Yeah, they were. It does sound like
they run in a small circle, and it's from uni, so that means this is like this is University of New York, okay? So that's a huge population. In order for it to be rolling like this, where you have this animosity and you all bumping into each other, all of them rich. All of them rich. She's talking about the brother-in-law got money? No, her family got money too, because they're moving in a really small circle. Right? Because if you were dealing with normal New York folks, there's too many of them. He's not gonna run into your system. Not in Dayton. You know, it just the circles are too tight. So that's why I say this is some of that regatta boat club. Buffy, what are you doing this Saturday at 4? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a little different.
I don't know. We don't have enough information there.
I don't have it though. Let's go ahead and get into the second one and see what happens.
Okay, here we go. Back to the story. Update. January 30th, 2024. One day later. My soon-to-be ex-husband knows everything now. Apparently, the guy who contacted me contacted my ex-husband at the same time and confessed to him. Well, that makes it easy. My soon-to-be ex is coming to town this weekend and wants to talk. Afterwards, I will probably need to look into taking legal actions if that's possible and tell my family. I think now that exposing him is the best and more safe approach should anything more serious happen. At least people would be aware of who to blame. I want to at least make sure that my sister and her children are safe before I tell them everything, like meeting them at my parents' house after I tell my parents. The pictures were real and were probably stolen from my phone or my husband's because he's the only one that I took those pictures for. Wouldn't he have recognized the photos then? I don't know if I can get any justice since the pictures were not of my face. At least I was smart enough to not have my face shown in nudes. I don't know what will happen. Relevant comments here. So you're telling me that this guy has kept himself around you for 20 years and is still hung up on you rejecting him? Sounds like he's preyed on your sister to get close to you and will keep trying to ruin your life if you let him get away with this. You need to tell your sister what he did, and the guy he used needs to tell your ex what he did. That already has been done. Not to stir any pots or get your ex back, but so everyone knows what a psycho this guy is. If he's still trying to get back at you after decades of you simply rejecting him, he's never going to stop, and he's never going to let you be happy. Original OP's reply. Yes, he's been following me throughout my uni years and even afterwards. He found my sister and managed to charm her. When they got married, I was single, and apparently he was telling his friends how he was glad I was old and single and miserable. Not my experience of my single life. Then, when I met my husband, he was angry because he didn't think I would find somebody at my age, 33. Now, when we are getting a divorce, he was very pleased again, saying I would definitely never find someone at 38, that I would regret turning him down. But I was on a date last weekend, so he spiraled down again and was angry and wrote horrible things about me, so his friend chose to come forward because he thought that my divorce wasn't enough for this guy. His words.
One day he's going to become president.
He's obsessed. Oh boy. Oh boy.
He has all the characteristics and traits to be a very successful president.
I can't remember the names. I just remember the event. The senator who brought in somebody who works in some type of industry where he could bring somebody in for inquiry with the congressman, with Congress, and the guy said something to the effect of, "You wrote in an article about me and blah 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 blah." And remember, he's talking about something that the dude wrote when the congressman at the time was a state legislator. So that's how old it is. And told the guy, and you said, and I quote, "If you can meet me, then we could go ahead and have our fight. Well, I'm here and you here, so let's go at it." This is a congressman that's threatening to go ahead and let's just
That's the
have a
labor
fight.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, it is possible for these people to become politicians, to hold a grudge so deeply and for so long, their ego will not let them not only forget, but still have enough hatred to exact revenge in whatever form that you want to do it on. So yeah, these there are people out there that's like this. I would go and take it one step further. There are people who have so much revenge on their mind for somebody to get into politics so they can help them with the revenge. So they can gain more power to exact revenge. That's how deep some of these people's ego trip are. But before we even get started, I'm gonna give Thea's a chance to answer this. Captain, Thea's blaming this woman is like blaming a rape victim.
Okay, so we want to jump way out there. If you actually pay attention to what the hell I said, why do people put these pictures in their devices? Because it sets you up for situations. I did not excuse that somebody broke into her phone. I did not excuse that she's being victimized by this crazy ass dude. I'm just saying, why do we set ourselves up for such things? We like to do things and not think about consequences down the line. That's all I'm saying. Take accountability for what the hell we do. Right? The villain here is dude. He's the villain here. He's the one who decided because someone hurt his little feelings, because he feel like he's entitled to attention or entitled to affection, that he was gonna lash out to her for the rest of his life. Right? That's him. He's a villain. Fine. My point is, we as individuals need to be more cognizant of the possible outcomes and ramifications of things we decide to do. Just because it's wrong for someone to take my news doesn't change the fact that I created the damn news. You can do whatever you want to. You can put your business on a widescreen TV and play it in your house all day long because you love how pretty your stuff is. Fine. But somebody else can look in your window, take a picture of your video, and put that bad boy online, and it's a consequence of your actions. You had every right to take any actions you want to, but the world won't stop for you. The world will not pause because of what you think is right or wrong. So I'm just saying, limit your exposure, folks. That's what I'm really trying to get at. And to take it and take it to I'm blaming a rape victim. I mean, there's so many levels in between this and that you could have went with, but you went with the extreme so that you can prove your hyperbolic point. But you're missing the point that I'm making. That's all I'm saying.
And here's the funny thing about it, because I agree with a lot of things that the new generation is going in the direction that the society is going in a certain way. You know, you have the right to do whatever you with your body, with your mind, with your spirit, everything. That don't exclude consequences. And I'm not speaking for this. I'm just piggybacking on what he has said and what I think is being said is that what the brother-in-law did was absolutely 100% wrong. Period. Absolutely wrong. But need us not forget the ammunition that he used. And the ammunition that he used were the nude pictures.
And I'm not saying that she should have known that someone was going to hack her phone. I'm not saying that, folks. What I'm saying is when we do things like this, we do not own the service that we put it on.
Yeah.
Right? When we put it on, like I made a point of Facebook Messenger, but that's what I used to say to people. You don't own Messenger. So once you put it on there, anybody who has access to that system can do whatever they want to with it. Right? In this particular case, she didn't say that she did that. In this particular case, she essentially said she only shared this with her husband. Okay? So that's still, you took your private information, put it on your phone, because you don't own your phone. You own the device. You don't own none of the software in there. So you put it out there and then you shared it out. And unfortunately, this monster decided to take advantage of it. I can't even read what that is. So it's probably something negative about me. What was that?
No, back to narcissism. These egocentrical folks want to punish and control others. Is a problem in this country where stalking rarely has consequences.
I agree 100% with you there. And that's another twisted thing about our culture. Well, our culture ain't my damn culture. There's another problem with the American culture is that we sexualize everything. That's one, right? Because a woman's body is her body. So she literally should be able to walk around butt ass naked if she wants to. And it wouldn't matter because it's her body. That just because she's nude doesn't mean you have a right to touch it. Now, the fact that she's walking around nude means you have the right to look at it because she put it out there. But you ain't got the right to touch it. Right? But we have this, it's crazy. Now I'm going to make my hyperbolic joke. It's like when the missionaries go to these third world countries and then tell the women they have to cover up because it excites them. That's their culture. They're not having a problem with people being raped and attacked. That's something about you who has a problem with seeing the human body unclothed and it's stirring something inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that still goes into it. You can't control every outcome from everything that you do, but you should at least take a moment to consider some of the outcomes that can come from what you do and decide for yourself, are these things I'm willing to deal with?
All right. Let's go on to the last video, the conclusion.
No?
I said there was 3 of them. I gave you a warning.
I missed that part. I missed that part.
You done cussed like 4 or 5 times in the first hour.
I said one bad word.
You said way more than one.
No, I said one bad word. I said the alternative to booty.
So you don't count damn.
No.
And you don't count hell.
No.
Javier done spoiled y'all. That's why he was fine. Let's go ahead and get to the 3rd video.
Mini update February 6th, 2024. So what about a week later? Yes, trigger warning, self-harm. Shit. I really don't have much to add. My sister is very angry. She said that I have ruined her husband's reputation because my ex has blasted him and his friend everywhere. Now he's talking about wanting to end his life because I ruined it because of a joke he played. My parents have told her everything the day everything was exposed, and apparently she believed them, me, at first, but now she's turned on me and she's refusing to listen. I wish I could have a moment with her first before hell broke loose. On the husband. Here's a comment. He is looking for jobs here because he wants to move back. I got very anxious and asked if he is doing this because of me. We are not together, and this wasn't the right time to pressure me, but he said he was doing it for himself, that he doesn't want anything from me, but that and he doesn't want to leave town for brother-in-law to think he has easy prey to harm. Okay, so he's coming back to protect her, sort of. I didn't ask about the one he was seeing. I felt it would be disrespectful to interrogate him since I have no right to do that. Maybe it is not serious, or maybe she is willing to move here. I don't know. So he's seeing somebody apparently. I haven't spoken to lawyers. They don't seem to think that this could lead to anything. Another comment here. Yes, and he said he couldn't just wait and let brother-in-law believe that I was alone and easy prey. He said that police wouldn't do anything. He was right about that, and people like my brother-in-law are better exposed to everyone because they value their image. He doesn't seem to be understanding of my sister, however, and the way she was put in the middle. He did apologize a lot, probably only because I was distraught and upset about what he did. I don't think he regrets anything. He's very sad himself and has been apologizing all the time about everything, including not believing me or trusting his gut that believed me. My brother-in-law hasn't bothered me again since he tried to call me to threaten me after everything blew up because my ex went to his place again and threatened beating him up again. Now my sister is even angrier. Husband's relationship from February 12th. Yeah, it's over. I don't think it was a serious relationship. I just heard rumors that he had a girlfriend but didn't know all the details, so maybe I thought it was more serious than it was. Now he's moving back, and I haven't heard that someone is moving with him, so I don't know. We talk on the phone every day, but I don't want to pry. So far, on any news on the brother-in-law, he has filed no contact orders again with my ex-husband, and me. Wait, what? So the brother-in-law filed a restraining order?
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
bullies
go
don't like
backwards.
being threatened.
Let me go backwards to go forwards. He filed it. That doesn't actually mean that he's going to get it. He just filed a restraining order. That was brought up later on. I clipped that part out.
You can get a
Number
training order on so little.
two.
Yeah, because they don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
It really don't. It's a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you not supposed to be here about to hurt me.
Okay. Number two. And this is to the sister, and since we don't Javier done softened the wording of the first hour, so I guess I can use my wording too now. You mad at me because your husband's reputation is hurt, but my marriage is destroyed. The hell with you. If you think his reputation is a lot bigger than my destroyed marriage from his lies and deceit, and you think I'm gonna give a damn about you being hurt? Excuse me, you still married, are you not? I'm not. And why am I not married anymore? Because of your husband. The hell with his reputation. And if you roll up out of your mouth again, I'm going to be done with you. Because apparently you put your marriage far above mine. So, yeah, that's just to the sister. To the brother-in-law, you little. To the brother-in-law. I normally would use the whole dish it. Thank you, Al. I normally would use the whole dish it out, but if you can't, don't dish it out if you can't take a thing. That's so far over your head. I'm not even gonna waste my time because you just really thought there was gonna be no consequence from this whatsoever. And even if you thought it wasn't gonna be as big as what happened. You just thought you had destroyed this woman and that the ex-husband wasn't gonna come back. And even if he did come, okay, you thought it was done. Let's start at that level. Well, my plan didn't work the way it is, but what's done is done. Then, well, it didn't work, and the ex-husband is coming back, but the ex-husband is coming back to get with the wife. So what's done is done. Oh, you didn't know that the ex-husband was coming back to get to you. Now you feel a little threatened because the consequences is coming real close to home now. Then you didn't really care if the word got out because you kind of thought the people will see my side and would understand that technically all of this started off as me being the victim. And I just couldn't take it no more. And when people looked at you and went, you sound like a fool. No, we ain't on your side at all. You sound like a nut. Then, only then, did you start feeling consequences. And now, because of what you threatened, which, by the way, I don't think you're going to do it. Sorry, but not sorry. But now, because of all this consequence, all this heat that came on you, you rather it all go away, even if that means you going away.
This is part of what I was trying to get at in my clumsy way about, and I've said this many times over the years, but when you do things, you have 100% control of your actions. You have zero control of the reaction, right? So in this particular case, in this particular slice of it, you got the brother-in-law who's so obsessed with punishing this woman that he feels some level of authority or control over for whatever dumbass reason. Sorry, I said the donkey word again. For whatever reason, right? And now he's scared because his actions cost this other man his marriage. So now this man is saying, I'm going to find you and I'll put my hands on you if I can get to you. And now all of a sudden it's, whoa, I ain't even do nothing to you. I need a restraining order, Mr. Officer man. He mad at me. That's the least of your worries. The fact that he's even letting you know he's coming, because there's other people who ain't gonna let you know they're coming. As soon as they find out that you're the cause of their grief, they just gonna come see about you. You know, so that's where I'm getting at, right? And I know that sometimes, you know, over analysis creates that paralysis or whatever, but I just need people to please at least think a couple steps past whatever it is that's motivating your moment, right? Before you take that picture, before you say that horrible thing on Facebook, before you start that argument in public with some random stranger, think about what comes next and what comes after that. And are either of those things worth the investment that you're about to make? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. Just don't do it. But people don't do that. People act in the moment, and then they want somebody else to help them clean up their mess. And it's just not how life works.
Words have consequences just as much as actions. Yeah, we can turn around everything. Sorry, Marlon, but we can turn around everything that they have said about, your actions have consequences. Yes, your words have consequences as well. And if you're not willing to stand behind them in public, perhaps you should not be saying it at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marlon, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, no, because I was going to piggyback off of Theo, but now I'll piggyback off of you. You see faces on here. You know what our faces look like, and you know everything that we say. We back up with facts and figures and everything else. We're not keyboard warriors. But that being said, I don't think any three of us is going to sit there and go, and if you don't like what I'm saying, here's my home address and my phone number, and then my social security number and everything else. I know I'm jumping, but do you understand what I'm saying about now? We do believe in what we're saying, but we're not crazy enough to put our whole life and our family in jeopardy to just tell you everything. Here's our address. Here's the city, state, and zip code. Here's where I work. Here's the name of all my family members. You can believe in something strongly. And that's fine. But if it's getting to the point now, and I look at a lot of stats on my when I look at who's watching the show, who's commenting everything else. And the youngest people I got right now is in the 24 to 30 range. So I'm talking to people like to you. You can feel strongly about something. And consequence is at that point is the worst case scenario is somebody disagree with you. But there are some people out there that disagree with you so much they want to cause harm. It is what it is. You might as well know that now. I get to the point right now where I understand you do have the right to say what you want to say. I get that. I agree with that. But reality does not dictate that you do have some people out there who so strongly disagree with what you said, they want to cause harm to stop you from saying it ever again. It is the way of life. It's just, it is what it is. So you telling me over and over again, I have the right to say it, is not going to stop some of these people. They're not going to look at you and stop and go, you know what? He's right. The Constitution says I'll just turn back around. That's not how it really is. I'm just a heads up. Now that's to the 24 to 30 range. The next in line is everybody from the 50s into the 65. Dude, I'm really not finna fight with you for something that you darn well know is true of what I just said. If you still falling behind, you should know better. But Foxy said it better than I did a long time ago. Common sense is not as common as you think it is. So for everybody that's in the range of my age and older, that goes for you too. You can't hide behind your age and your experience and your education. There are people who want to cause you harm specifically on just what you said. Online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, or whatever the heck they call it now, whatever the platform is. All we're saying is protect yourselves at all costs. Watch what you say, how you say it. If this even in a political thing, stick to the facts and everything else. If it boils down to start name calling, wash your hands of it and be done.
Yeah, definitely don't get in no arguments with people over stuff like this. And then sad thing is, even with all that being said, sometimes it still won't be enough. But somebody is determined to cause harm to somebody, they just sometimes, that's the line that you're gonna cross with somebody. What you just said, part of what you just said, man, it just made me think about something because, like, my baby came to me this
I'm
week
sorry.
and she was like,
I'm sorry, Theus. I'm sorry to stop you.
"What happened?
LL, what is wrong with you tonight?
What happened?"
Where did it? I got a mental image of Anna. I said I was going to piggyback off of what Theus was saying, but Anna made such a good point. I'm going to piggyback off of Anna. LL comes in with, I got a mental image of Anna giving Ballin a piggyback ride. What is going on with you?
I don't know. That's actually a kind of cute image. What do you think about that? Just be smiling.
I
So
wanted to give your story attention here, so okay.
no, my story. Let my story go. I don't even worry about it. My story's gonna bring the mood down. But so like, let's see. So in my vision, Anna has on like a white t-shirt and some like long shorts, like longer, like past the knee, like culotte type joints, right? And then Marlon would have on like the old man sandal shoes, the African I'm at the grill shoes, and some white socks and some denim shorts and like maybe like a white polo. And there's a lake in the background and the grass is real pretty and green, and Marlon's just smiling, and Anna's just waving, and it's just piggyback riding by the lake.
And a piggyback ride followed by a body slam. I'm so glad this first hour is on.
Why would you body slam Anna? What'd she do to you? She ain't do nothing.
No, apparently the body slam me.
Huh?
I guess the body
I don't know
slam
if I could hold him up.
Marcus like, what does the clothing matter?
You gotta paint
You
the
have
picture.
the mental image, yeah.
Picture.
You have to.
Would you rather me say that they both naked piggybacking around at the park?
That's not right.
That's not no. I look at Anna so.
And then
much
what
like,
if it's a hot day? That means they both sweating. Just
No, and then
hot,
I
wet,
get like a
sweat
rash,
piggybacking.
the heat rash, and no.
I can't do that. No.
Mm.
You know how disgusting this is sounding because we're talking about my sister now. So I'm like, no, no, ew, ew. And Mama Hawk, I don't have no idea what's going on. I have lost all. Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm giving a piggyback ride, apparently.
So, and Diaz is taking it to the help me stepsister. I'm stuck. Kind of, I know. Oh.
Or to quote Marlon,
yeah. Anyway, thank goodness the first hour is over, and even if it's not, it is now.
I'm sorry, y'all. I've been drinking. But I'm just saying, it was a good point talking about the imagery of the piggyback. And you know what I'm saying? It's like Marlon either piggybacking her or her piggybacking Marlon. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you do it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing worse than when someone's trying to hold you up, and instead of grabbing your thighs, they try to hold you by your butt, and now they can hold your butt cheeks all wide and you're pooting all over the place. It's just
that vodka is kicking in for real. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the second hour. Full show. Am I the a-hole? Story of the week. Real or nah? Foxy's video of the week. Mafia video of the week. and he's in the background losing his mind. What did I do wrong? What? All I was what?
he was speaking up for safety. He really was.
Don't help him. Don't encourage him. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel. searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally, I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. High to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
All right, we are all back, and of course,
Hi,
before we-
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Before I get kicked off again. Hi, Tracy.
Yeah, before you get kicked off again.
You drinking a little.
Yeah, a little. Before we get started, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Radical Truth tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Plessy versus Ferguson, the beginning of the equal, separate but equal, or am I maybe saying it differently? Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. Hey, Tracy.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody had a chance to give their updates, so go ahead and give yours too.
It's been a busy day for me. I was at a rally for the Poor People's March campaign, collected signatures, lost my phone, had to buy a new phone. Of course, I didn't have money to buy a new phone, but when you lose your phone, you lose everything. So, that's how my day went. Oh, and I did a podcast today at 7 when I'm usually doing it at 3. But hey, whatever. And I still have a makeup one to do tomorrow. Oh, and a training to do tomorrow also. You kicked me.
That was a good time.
Oh, that's weird.
And welcome to the Mama Heart Hour.
And well, yes.
Thank you. For everybody that's new here, for the first hour, we done got a whole new bunch of subscribers. Mama Hard has helped me out tremendously for the entire year of 2024. So the second hour will be known as the Mama Hard Hour. So I appreciate her. Thank you very much. This is dedicated to Mama Hart. In case anybody don't know, Mama Hart is the mother of AITAH Hart, but she probably by this point is the mother of all of us. But well, me, because she's helped me because I'm her second favorite. So yeah.
Third, she has
She can
another.
She can be your auntie. Your aunt, mother, is that like an uncle, grandpa?
Only if we're in Alabama or Arkansas.
Yeah. Then you could pretty much put any of those connections together and it'll be correct. Thea's all is forgiven. What you drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking? Cause
Well,
don't do this mess on April the 9th. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna cut you off so fast.
what did I even do? I am hurt, y'all. I don't know what I did.
You've been drinking something that I probably wouldn't.
Well, this is true because you don't drink any alcohol.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything. I'm innocent here.
And if you believe that, you believe. Well, no, I'm not gonna get into political stuff. I'll be quiet. I'll be good.
Oh Lord. Randall. At summer camp, I was a counselor. We had a piggyback race, and I was running holding a 7-year-old. I tripped and fell, but the little kid took a harder fall and ended up breaking his collarbone. Oh no.
Parker, you hurt a baby.
You're 7. You need to toughen up.
Them bones are healed. Don't feel
That's
bad.
right.
That's a very
painful. We got bragging rights now. We got bragging rights.
I mean, sure they suit the camp, but I mean,
yeah, camp. It is now camp. What was that called?
He felt so freaking bad.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure you did, because that wasn't intentional.
No, never. But I think you would intentionally hurt somebody, especially.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to camp under new management.
No, Parker no longer works here.
Oh. Love you, Mama.
Love you, Mama Hard. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Am I the a-hole? If we are low energy on this story, which chances are we won't, because this is the first time in over a week that we're all together now, it's because I put this story into our group chat, our behind the scenes group chat, and we literally was going back and forth on the story.
Oh, the 3 y'all I was busy.
So
now, 2 of them was.
We were, Marlon. You and I were talking about it.
Me and Anna went back and forth.
I appreciate you trying to include me, but my attention span is about that long. And see what happened, right?
Like that the last couple. Never mind. So, if anything
you're
that you're
a mean man.
Javier is not going to protect you anymore. Under new management.
Where did Javier come back?
Javier ain't coming back.
Never.
They're still looking for the body.
Marlon, what did you do to Javier?
Yeah, like I'm going to ask.
They found a toe, a finger. What was it?
I'm sorry, Tracy. What murder mystery have you seen when somebody go, "What did you do with the body?" and the person literally said, Well, I buried
Wait
it
a
under
minute.
like they
Is
really
this
told you what
okay?
happened.
Let me answer the question with
That was
this.
the world's worst confession.
Yeah.
It was.
Let's talk about when I sponsored a murder mystery game, and Marlon starts off with this. I think I get it.
Of course, I did it.
Hey,
Literally said, I think I did. I'm like, Mark, that ain't see the way this actually works. You're supposed to just
I don't know how it works. So, but anyway, husband
It
would
was fun.
divorce me if my late wife came back.
My husband and I have been together for 10 years, and we have been married for 6. He and his late wife were together for 3 years and married for 1. They have a son who is now 13. I know I don't come first in his eyes, and as a person who doesn't like a whole lot of attention, it worked out pretty well. He goes to her grave every day after work and takes their son to her grave on the weekend for an hour to spend time with his mom. I work from home as an online tutor working with kids on English and history, so through COVID, my stepson was home with me during school remotely. I've known him since he was 3, and we have a decent relationship. We've bonded over shared hobbies like building Gundam models and the Percy Jackson books. Yesterday was his birthday, and I gifted him a special edition box set of the second series in the Rordenverse, the Heroes of Olympus. When he opened my gift, he all but screamed and hugged me, and as he was thanking me, he called me Mom. I didn't say anything, but I did smile. I've raised him for almost 7 years, so sometimes I feel like his mother, even though I know our bond isn't biological. My husband became furious, and once my stepson went up to his room to read his new books, he began to yell at me. Quotes including, "You're not his mom. How could you ever be his mom? How dare you let him call you mom? And you don't have any children. He's mine and not your son." To defend myself, I only replied that I was glad my stepson saw me as a maternal figure. Also, we need this right now. My husband blew up and told me, "If my wife came back from the dead, I would divorce you in an instant for her. Don't act so high and mighty because you help my son with homework sometimes or build stupid plastic figures. No matter how many bedtime stories you read him, you are not and will never be his mother." Holy shit. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. This hurt me. My husband and I are sleeping in separate rooms and I feel awful. I don't know how to respond. I love my stepson. I love my husband, but right now I feel utterly devalued and replaceable. I just needed to get my feelings somewhere I know he won't find. Thank you for reading. Relevant comments from OP. After the argument, I went up to my stepson's room and apologized for the shouting. He told me his dad did the shouting, not me, and asked me if it was his fault. I told him his dad was insecure because we get along, and it was not and will never be his fault. I hope he knows that he isn't to blame in the slightest. I spent the rest of his birthday reassuring him that this isn't his fault. I just hope he doesn't internalize it. OP said that her husband went to his late wife's grave after the argument and stayed there for a few hours while I set up my stepson's birthday. Just a few boys from his school, cupcakes I made, and a movie marathon evening before everyone went home. He got home just as the party ended.
It's all the kids' fault.
I want to go first.
I feel so bad for that thing. So.
This is to the husband, and there's a part. This is not going to be the usual Marlon going off and bashing the husband and everything else. I'm literally going to talk to you rationally all the way up to the end. Then I am going to say something that's probably going to hurt your feelings, but in my case, it's true. You have gone to your late wife's grave every day for 10 years. That's not normal. No, I am not going to use the outliers of the world to normalize this. That is not normal.
He's making sure she's dead.
Well, she was dead yesterday. She's dead today. Take my word for it. It's not trust me on certain things in life. Death is not a reversal.
The guilty always returns to the scene of the crime.
You stop this. Gotta help people. That is not a normal concept. You taking your child there every weekend, even though his wife died when he was 3. I'm sorry. I'm just being real with you. There is very little, very small bit of the population of the world remember all events at the age of 3. They may have glimpses and pictures of certain events that just pops in their head, but you're sitting there telling them, hey, we're gonna so you can remember your mom and all the great things she. This kid is like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dad. I'm going because you're taking me. I don't know what's going on right now.
Lydia had Beetlejuice. She's got all the ghosts of the cemetery.
Go get you some
He's
water.
got friends there. He sees dead people.
Theus, go get some water.
Do you need some water? I got some water. Here you go.
I got water. I got water. I got water.
No, I know. I need that
I
gallon
don't
jug
think
that
that's
you had
water.
like 2 months ago.
I got more water. I got water.
So either way, so I'm telling you right now, you need to go get therapy. And I mean, I'm being hyperbolic by saying like yesterday. No, I think you should have get it like 10 years ago. No, that dude don't need no more anything like that. Now, here is the hurtful part, but in my opinion, it's my truth. So the kids say. What that child said to your wife, and I really use that term very loosely, ain't got shit to do with you. I know you feel it does, but it doesn't. That is a bond between that child and that woman.
That wasn't me.
That was me turning my phone down.
But that's a bond between that child and that woman. It ain't got crap to do with you. Nothing. So for you to go off the way that you are proves again, dude, you need help.
It's all about you.
This is why you got kicked off the last hour. What are you doing?
Sober up. It's okay.
I didn't even do anything. I ain't even
Sleep
do
it
nothing,
off.
man. I ain't do anything. I'm just
So
sitting
getting
here.
defensive.
you see yourself whispering stuff?
He's getting
I ain't even
defensive.
do anything.
That's the first sign.
I ain't do nothing.
Constant denial.
Guy, please go get some help. Because now the really last part about it, as time goes on, you're gonna slowly start losing your son. I mean, mentally and physically, you're going to start losing your son. Your son is going to get up older into his teens and go, why am I going with you every weekend? This doesn't make any sense. I'm not going. And you're going to resent him. He's going to resent you for, and now it's going to turn to making me go to this grave. It's going to turn into resentment. And because you can't see that, you're going to resent your son. So, how far you want to take this, bro? I'm leaving the ball in your court. How far are you going to take this? Because at a certain point, that kid is going to resent you. He's literally, at this point, if you divorce that woman because of everything that went on, he's going to resent you for that. Because he saw this woman as a mother figure and you took it away from him because of how you felt about your wife. He's not going to say anything about it because he's a kid. But as we know, trauma builds over years. And it festers. And it just lays dormant until it blows up. So, how you want to handle this? You want to continue this trial? Or you want to go ahead and try to handle your business now and take care of it? That's all I got to say about that.
So now, Uncle Fester was a really good character on the Addams Family. I really liked him, like you were saying about festering. But anyway, no, seriously. Um, as a parent, one of I mean, I guess people are different. But at least the people like me or friends that I've had that are broken families, as they say. Um, there's nothing better than having a spouse that steps up into what I view to be one of the most difficult roles of being a stepmother or stepfather and navigating that space because like they have to be cognizant of the fact that they're not the biological parent. They're playing the role of best friend slash uncle slash aunt, and they're playing the role of best friend slash confidant, and they're playing the role of spouse slash mom slash dad. That's a really, I mean, it's a unique person that's able to step into that role and be able to navigate all those things at the same time. Like I look at, like okay, using myself as the example, my eldest daughter, me and her mother are divorced, right? And so my daughter's always had her mother, and she's always had her father. But my wife, my current wife, I remember at a certain point where I was like, I want you to, she should be able to, I didn't say it out loud. She should be able to call you mom if she wants to call you mom and blah, 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 blah. And then I stopped and I was like, yo, this ain't my relationship to manage. The fact that my current wife is able to play all these different roles according to the needs of the child, and they have their own unique dynamic in the whole nine, what more can you ask for? So this dude is somebody who's just got a weird inability to move on. Like he's not being able to compartmentalize his grief and past life experience, right? Because that's what the wife who's passed away, while still honoring that relationship and protecting that relationship for his son, and still being able to help his son grow and have this new relationship with a woman who loves him as though he were her child. Like I've seen a lot of like quote unquote step parents. They love their children deeper and harder than the biologicals do because they chose this child, you know? So it's like it's always wild to me when I hear these kind of weird stories. So I'm just glad the kid has a good thing, and hopefully, the pops is able to get through his grief because that's really what I think is clouding this whole thing, and
Sure.
and really appreciate what he has.
All right, Tracy.
This, she needs to leave him. He needs help. He definitely needs help. He needs therapy because you don't visit every day for 10 years, dude. No, 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 no. You can't tell that son what type of relationship to have with his stepmother. What do you want him to call her? The B word? I mean, what is he expecting? I mean, obviously he needs help. There's no other way I can say it. He needs help and he needs to get it fast. But she needs to leave him because she already said in the beginning she always knew she was in second place. And that's not where a spouse needs to be, right? When you marry somebody, minus the children, because there are children in here, but there's an order, right? There's usually, relationship first, children second, or children first and relationship second, but it's either one or two, right? And when she said, oh, I know I'll never be, what words did she use? I forget, but she already knew from the beginning she was never going to be a priority in his mind. So I don't think that she should waste her time
She
Listen,
said, "I know I'll never be number one in his life," and
life,
that
yeah.
was
That's like, ooh, I
ooh,
can't, I can't be with, like, I can't imagine marrying a man if I'm not. No, now for me, it's always you put God first, me second, you last, and then I put God first, you second, me last, right? But when she says that, girl, you already knew he wasn't over her. You already knew. You he is not over her. He needs help. Now maybe you get counseling, but he needs something because you just can't visit a gravesite and then you take your child. What if the child just says one day, I know she's there and I'll go on like her birthday or anniversary of her death or something like special? What is he
All
gonna
hell
do?
gonna break loose. All
Oh no,
hell
you
is
got
gonna
to
break
square
loose.
up with the kid. Then you got to
Yeah.
square up with the
All hell
kid.
is gonna break
Oh, so you
loose.
ain't gonna go? You ain't gonna go? I'm gonna tell you, you gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's what happens.
this is just unhealthy. He's putting what's the child 10?
Yes.
That
wait,
child is gonna be messed
no,
up.
the child is 13. He
Yeah,
was
13.
3 when passed. It's been 10 years. 13.
Oh,
He's under 18. He's under 16, right? That
Yeah.
child is gonna be.
So
No,
bruh, I'm
you
gonna tell you
can't
right
do
now.
that.
That
You
thing that I
can't do
said about
that.
him to his mind when he becomes a teenager, you got about 2 years now. So thank you, Anna. He's 13. When he gets 15 or 16, that's what it's gonna
What
hit.
happens when he turns 18? It's like, nah, I don't want to go. Well, now he's an
He's
adult.
not
What you gonna do
so
then?
so there's a couple of issues that I would say um within this. Like for her, they're like the spouse, the lady, the spouse. So like there's knowing and then there's processing, right? So on a intellectual level, she says that she understands that she'll never be number one. But she loves this man and she's fallen in love with this kid.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what you know in your head, it's not that clean cut, right? So like, okay, he's not treating me right, but he's not treating me bad either. And I get to be with the boy who needs me because his father is not engaged. So how do you
I
walk
can
away from
agree.
that?
He has treated her bad by yelling at her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
people yell at each
Because,
other all the time.
but
But
then
I'm
he
saying
told her if that wife
I
was
I get that.
alive, he would divorce her.
I
Come
get that.
on,
And that should be enough for her to
That's a
leave.
lie.
But what I'm saying is it's really complicated
it's hard to leave. I'm not saying
when
it's not.
you know you're the only one out of the two of you that's actively involved with who this child is. So it gets really hard for her to just be like, all right, I have to do what's best for me and leave. Because when she leaves him, she leaves the kid too. She got no
Right.
rights to that kid once she leaves. So she's the safety valve for that baby. So it's not that simple for her. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
sometimes, especially as adults, we take on a certain level of abuse, pain, neglect, whatever it may be, if we think that the thing we're giving it up for is of a higher calling,
And you
right?
got and let me
So
cut in real quick, Theus. Let me cut in real quick because of what you said. Because everybody sit there and say, I would leave. I would leave. I I hope she don't. Only not because of the husband. Because, dude, I already said to you what I had to say. But you're literally saying, I would leave because you're just not going to talk to me like that. I want you to think a little deeper. You're not leaving the husband. You're leaving that child with that husband. Now handle that. Handle
I mean
everything that
that's
goes.
heavy.
Handle everything that comes with that. You left that child with that husband that you know is not there. There is no boundary right now. You are that boundary from that child to the husband, and you have removed that boundary from that
So
child.
you're saying
That
she should
husband has
stay?
24 hours, 7
It's
days a
not a
week.
it's not a matter of saying she should stay. I'm saying
Right.
why it's complicated to leave.
It's
Well,
You know what
we
I'm saying?
complicated.
know
Like
it's complicated to
it's
leave.
I know, but what I'm saying, Tracy, is like because we run into this in so many different topics that people love to say what they would or wouldn't put up with, and I'm always the one who says, "Look, there's another layer to this, right? Like if you're not being treated right for your own self, you should leave. I get that, but life seldom comes to you and says, "Here's an easy A and an easy B." It doesn't do it very often. Usually, life comes at you and be like, "Yeah, you figure it out." You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's tough. It's tough because the only way she has access to this child that I assume or I gather that she loves very much is through that husband. You know, um, so it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, now if it escalates, if the relationship between her and the husband escalates and it continues to deteriorate like that, then she has no choice. She literally has to leave because she'll be damaging herself and the child. You know what I'm saying? But where's that line? I don't know, and I don't know that it's a very clean and clear line. So she has to do what she
I
has to
know
do.
he has two issues. One, he needs to seriously go to therapy. 10 years? No, no. Second, I would argue although he may not be physically abusing his wife, he's got, the way he treat, I'm like, you go, sir, you need to get help.
Isn't this kind of like the Von Trapp family from The
No,
Sound of
it's
Music,
not.
where
No,
he couldn't get
no,
past the
no,
dead wife?
no,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? And it took the lady who sings at The Sound
He
of
didn't.
Music.
He didn't go to the gravesite every day,
Yeah,
but
he didn't go
No,
to
he
the
didn't go to the
gravesite.
graveside every day, but he wouldn't allow his heart to be open
No,
to
he was
what.
just strict with his children. He was a disciplinarian to the point of extremism.
But
But
he was like that because he couldn't allow himself to grieve.
are we talking about the same? Okay.
I think
yes,
so.
true. Yes,
I'm pretty
I
sure
agree
I'm
with
talking
Ian
about the
here.
same movie.
Yep.
Because it wasn't until Julie Andrews was able to get behind that shell that he was able to see her in the light of being a mother to his children that he realized what she could be to him too. And then,
It took him seeing his
you know,
children happy. It shocked him at first, but
Right.
it took seeing his children happy.
Well, actually,
because
Max
part
was
of
the
his
conduit
penance,
to that because he wanted them to see. Okay, I'm not going to get into the
and part of
movie.
his penance,
The singing part,
part of his punishment was I don't deserve that level of happiness because the one who brought me that happiness is gone.
Plus, he
So
put it on
it's
his
like
children.
he's purposely living in this sackcloth and ashes phase of his life
And
because
putting
he
his
doesn't believe
children.
he deserves better. Huh?
And putting his children through it. Because think about it.
Absolutely.
He was so strict on those children, not letting them sing. It was only until Max said, hey, these kids can actually, well, no, actually, Julie Andrew, but in real life, I'm talking about the real life. Um,
right?
yeah, no, this
But I'm saying
father,
grief does weird things to people. It just
grief
does weird
does.
things to people.
But 10 years,
Yeah,
the
what's the time frame?
Mr.
What's the time
Listen,
frame? I know people that lost their they lost their mother or their father 20 years ago, and they still messed up. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like,
you don't, it's not healthy. All of us recognize it's not
oh, I
healthy to
agree.
visit a
Yeah.
grave site for 10 years. You're taking your child, you're putting, I seriously want to know what happens the day that that child says, I'm not going anymore. I'm not going, not
Go by
anymore. I'm going to
yourself.
move on.
Oh, hell's no
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, because he's gonna be so angry at that child for disrespecting his mother. But that child was almost a baby when his mother died.
Yep. So
Right? So
rational thought and emotional processing, they don't usually hang out in the same clique.
All right, Anna. Last word.
Okay. So you talk to the father. I want to talk to the wife. We don't have all of the information here, so I would hope that you came in making a conscious decision of knowing that you will always be behind his first wife in his mind. I've heard this story before. And I'm okay with that. As long as there is a respectful relationship between the two who are living. Be absolutely sure as to where your love comes from. It's time for some serious talks with yourself. And please see a lawyer. Not that I am saying, like, I don't really think any of us would lightly say divorce this person. I mean, I had to let a certain level of anger subside at what I see as the injustice of how he treats her and how he keeps her at arm's length when it comes to his son. This cannot be the only instance where he has made his either his express wishes. I mean, obviously, we don't know what really he wants her to be called, so talk about that. But yes, go see a lawyer because it is not, as Learn Life said, it is not true that you cannot get some custody if it's not a biological child. You absolutely
Oh,
you
it
can.
can. Yep.
So I would just say start exploring more options. I am not suggesting at all that you move to divorce because that has to come from you. Whatever you end up choosing, I hope the people around you and maybe even those on the internet will give you the support and the a bit of measured feedback as to, no, that does not seem normal to me. And no, it is not normal to go to a grave every day for 10 years.
10
Everyone
years.
said it, and it's something is going on that you cannot let her go. But she went into this marriage knowing that. She said so with that one line of, I know I will never be first in his life, and she is okay with that. So she might be perfectly fine and actually happy. Because we don't know their love story. We don't know, and we can make all the suppositions about he should not have been in the dating if he was so obsessed with the first wife and could not let that go. But hey, they are now together, have been, and there is a 13-year-old, a very impressionable young man who will start to be feeling his hormones and start to, yes, question. He will most likely go, Dad, this makes me uncomfortable. Like I would understand going on maybe her birthday and Mother's Day, like twice a year. That's what normal people do. But it is not up to us to define normal. If he needs to go to his first wife's gravesite every day, that's what he needs. And his wife is okay with that. So just please talk with yourself. Talk with yourself very honestly here.
Whew. Thank you for that.
Where do you
Positive
find
story.
these people?
I'm
In
good.
the dark, dark
He
halls
just
of
goes to the darkest place. Let's bring out this. Yeah.
Positive story of the week.
Thank you.
As soon as I pushed that button, I thought, damn it.
I'm sorry, it is so loud in my headphones that one guitar note, it zings right through.
Broke into my mother-in-law's house.
I broke into my mother-in-law's house today. Valentine's Day has always been special to my wife and her family. So the other day when I asked my wife what she wanted for Valentine's Day, she burst out into tears. This was obviously not the response I wanted, and I asked her what was wrong. Her dad died last summer. Clearly, I already knew this, but she goes on to tell me how he would always get her mom roses, Hershey Kisses, and Hostess Ho-Hos, and she's crying because he can't do that this year and her mom will be alone. I have to work today, but I took a detour to mother-in-law's with roses, Hershey Kisses, and Ho-Hos, knowing mother-in-law wasn't going to be home. I used the hidden key and got in, arranged everything, and then hightailed it to work. Mother-in-law won't be back home for another few hours, but I'm just giddy thinking about her reaction. I don't plan on telling either of them, so I just wanted to put this here. What a great example of what your partner in life should be, right? Update. So my mother-in-law instantly knew it was me. She thought it was either me or my wife. She texted my wife first, and they put 2 and 2 together. She texted me and said, Duke, her dog, told me that you stopped by. So I told her, I don't know what he said. He's a liar. And she thanked me for the gifts, even though I thoroughly denied the accusations that the dog made. I mean, I thought we were pals, but Duke is out here telling my secrets. LOL. My wife says she has a special gift for me when I come home from work tonight, and tomorrow I'm taking her to her favorite steak place. So my big secret was a secret for all of 1 hour.
Oh yeah, he got head and steak, That's supposed to be. It's like a holiday. Was it blowjobs and steaks or something like that? Isn't that a holiday?
Man,
Yo,
come on,
I got
man.
something special for you when you get home.
How do you take something so positive, so sweet, so kind, and turn it into that?
Hey, that's positive, sweet, and kind.
When somebody says, I got something for you at home,
Yeah, but
And
you,
then we go get some steak.
but you don't have to say it out loud. You could just think it.
Yo, that's all right. That just means she was playing head doctor. What?
She could not be into that or anything. You just sitting making all type of assumptions.
Stop on my nut, like corn on the cob.
No. He is banned from all vodka products during the show for the rest of the existence of this show. I don't care if this show is next year. I don't care if this show is on for the next 20 years. Theus is not allowed to drink vodka on this show
ever again. No.
Nada. I don't even know. To this point, Theus cannot drink anything that starts with a V. He cannot even drink V8. I don't care what it is.
Water, soda.
That man's gonna be drinking cranberry juice and water. Nothing else.
Is that Foxy in the background laughing?
No, I'm not
No.
No, I am not letting him be great and all this other stuff that you like to say. Bottle that has the word V, a G for gin, a B for brandy. I don't even care. All you need to drink is everything that says W, water.
Yeah, W for water, not whiskey, water.
Oh, nope. No W words. I gotta check out what the W is.
Whiskey.
No, I took him down. That man started going into like this was doggone 2 Live Crew concert. Real or nah?
You did it.
So that's
We're
3-6
not,
Mafia. Thank you very much.
we're not going to say anything, or okay. That was a lovely story.
That was really a beautiful story.
It's a beautiful
But
story.
you had to go there. You just had.
LL, of all people, LL,
All right.
cut him off. It's the LL dude.
Didn't we just get done talking about how the body is just the body? So if the body is just the body and passionate hugging is just the way the two consenting adults show that they love each other, I just don't understand why I'm the bad guy here. I'm just
You took something that was lovely and nice and sweet.
And took some- and it was still lovely, nice, and sweet. I
Don't
promise.
be defending him. You do this mess, April, and I'm a gone.
All right, everybody, let's move on. Okay.
Please.
I picked this story just to pick this story because it reminded me of the story that started the infamous Real or Not to begin with. So let's go ahead and get into it, see if it's the same thing or not, and let's just get it out the way.
This story came from my friend's husband, Adam. Adam worked as a police officer from the late 90s to early thousands until being injured in the line of duty. On one December evening, Adam was finishing up his shift when Belle, who he was dating at the time, called him asking if he could pick up a couple of last-minute things for a Christmas party. Since Walmart was about a mile away, Adam decides to go there. He's wearing a thick, dark blue coat over his uniform, complete with vest, belt, and gear, including his sidearm, radio, handcuffs, and baton. He's in the dairy section, getting some cream, when he hears a woman say in a low voice, "Excuse me." Adam turns to look. There's a young woman, maybe college-aged, dressed in jeans, a thick coat, and she's heavily pregnant. Definitely not the Karen type. The woman says to Adam, "Can you please help me get a TV from the back?" Adam's about to use the classic, "I don't work here, lady" line, when he sees the fear in her eyes. Now on high alert, he leans close to her and he whispers, "Are you okay? What happened?" That's when the girl tells Adam, "I'm scared of my husband. He just shot the officer who pulled us over." At that, Adam looks up, and he sees this strung-out looking man who looks like he hasn't showered in days, watching them with shark eyes, as Adam recounted. Thinking fast, Adam says loud enough for the man to hear, "I'm more than happy to help you, ma'am. Let me page the back, and we'll get it in a minute. Hang tight." Using his cell phone, which wasn't as common as it is now, he texted a fellow officer who was still on duty, asking her if an officer got shot. When she confirmed it and asked what was going on, he told her what was going on, and to alert the manager and to send a couple of units to the store. She responded that the units were on the way, and the manager had been alerted and to hang tight. Once he received her text, he said, "It's on the way to the front. I'll personally escort you there so the manager knows who it belongs to." So he leads the family to the front and makes eye contact with the manager. The manager, who recognizes Adam from previous excursions, comes over. Adam, keeping up the charade, says to the manager, "Boss, I think it'd be good to get this lady off her feet for a bit while we get the car loaded." He said that with a meaningful look. He then says, "It's gonna take several minutes anyway." The manager knows what he means and nods and says, "Of course, come with me, ma'am. My office is just this way." Once the lady and the manager were safely away, Adam and the man head out to the parking lot. Just then, Adam spots the officers getting out of their cars and nods at them. Now, the takedown wasn't as dramatic as you'd expect it to be. They recognized him and arrested him as soon as several outstanding warrants for his arrest were revealed. The officer the man attacked survived his injuries, and the man got a nice long prison sentence for several charges, including attempted murder. The lady filed for divorce, and with Adam and Belle's help, was able to get home to her family. Last Adam heard, she was doing well.
This is the good story?
No, this is real or not.
Real or not?
Oh, this is real.
What? You're gonna
I
say
don't
real?
hear-
What?
Absolutely. I managed retail. Absolutely. This is real. This is real.
What?
Hats off to the officer for being experienced enough to downplay it and make things move. But I haven't personally had to go through this particular experience, but this flows. This makes sense.
I have. Okay, then help me out then, because I have several questions.
Yeah, me too.
I have several questions. One, you saw the guy who apparently is on drugs and everything come in, and the lady pointed her out. But during the whole interaction with the cop, where did he go? Like
Who?
where did the druggie? I guess that's the only name I can.
The
So
husband?
I'm gonna have to make an assumption, but what I would assume is he recognized this guy as a cop too.
So he
But he also knew he didn't have the upper hand in the moment. So he's just acting real squirrely, hoping that she plays it cool and he can get out about his business. That's what I would suspect. Because these guys, they act when they have the upper hand. Like if he attacked this other officer, he would have done it at a moment when the officer wouldn't have been able to expect it. You feel what I'm saying? So if she's flagging down a cop, the drug dude, allegedly, he would have noticed that this was a cop just like she did. But he's thinking she's on his team, and okay, I can't really do nothing right now. Let me keep an eye on it. That type of squirrely kind of behavior. I'm surprised that he ain't dip out and leave her and the baby, her and her
I'm
pregnant self
surprised
at the spot and dip. Because
No,
That's what I was expecting.
let me go to my second question. So, and I'm being real. I'm not even being funny. This is why I said I had an issue with this story. Was you literally, regardless of what the situation was, because they didn't go into detail, shot a cop, and your first action after that is to go to Walmart?
Yeah.
it's
What?
not that it's your first action, but you are now on the run. So you need to go get stuff. And the most anonymous place you can be is Walmart. Because everybody at Walmart looks some kind of way. So you hit the store, you're trying to get in, get out. That's your mission. We need food. I got a pregnant wife, so I need to make sure she's got whatever. Get some snacks, whatever. Let's move. We got 20 minutes. Let's move. And that would be the frame of thought. And then also keep in mind, if this person is strung out, he's doing all of this under the influence. So his reaction to the officer that he shot, that was not going to be on the most up and up. His reaction to how he manages his lady at the Walmart, that's not going to be on the up and up. He is moving on survival instinct, period. Just move. So that's how I think it could make sense.
And LL, I can answer that question. The wife was the one that asked for the TV. The wife could have asked for a washer and dryer. It doesn't matter what she was asking for. She was trying to get the cops' attention. So she was just asking for something that she knew she wasn't going to be able to handle, a TV, a stereo, whatever. Anything that would allow her to have a reason to talk to this cop. So it wasn't they went to go get a TV. Because of the way I'm understanding the story, the guy never heard what the wife was asking for.
Yeah. That's how I heard it.
The way I'm understanding it, he was far away and she just pointed him out. So she just asked for whatever. Anything that's on a top shelf, anything that's heavy, anything anything. She just wanted to communicate with this cop.
Delay. That was all she was trying. And my brother has a history with retail, with managing, and with being on the floor. My sister-in-law also. So I have heard a lot of insane stories with the people that they have had to deal with over the years and years. And those who are good at sales, and especially when you get up to a manager position, you are very personable. You are a good actor. Now, I know she went up to a cop here, but he needed the manager of Walmart to play along, to, at least he got to communicate beforehand, and he knew he was, it just, this is not out of the realm of ordinary, of non-ordinary? Wait, backwards.
Especially at Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Walmart, but you got a
I'm
special
not-
kind of clientele, bro.
I'm not. Hey, you know there are some folklore out there that, let's face it, y'all earned it. Walmart stories, the Florida man, y'all have earned this stuff, bruh. So you can't say, hey, come on.
Yes,
You
can.
can call me bougie or whatever, but I will not shop at a Walmart. Okay.
Me neither.
So one thing about Walmart, because I ain't trying to deal with the people you got in there. That's one. That's the bougie side of it. The other side of me is I don't like how you treat your employees. So
Yes.
I can't shop with you because I don't feel like you do good business. So
Right.
I will go to Target and I will spend $10 more for my purchase to get the same thing, knowing that the people are treated better. You know what I'm saying? So I can't mess with Walmart. But yeah, I mean, as a manager, one of the things you do, having managed a retail environment, you hope this doesn't come up. But like Anna was saying, you get used to just being in the moment, dealing with different people and different personalities. So when things don't quite line up, you're trying to put together a puzzle and in real time. So it's like, okay, this doesn't quite line up. You're an officer. All right, here's the clue. I got the clue. All right, bet. So yeah, let's make sure that she's good. Because one of the things you do on a normal basis is people like, I tripped in aisle 12 and my ankle hurts. Okay. So management 101, what do? All right, whoever was closest to her when this happened, you make sure you secure the area. Make sure that nobody else gets within 5 feet of this particular spot. Okay, the next manager comes in. That's the manager who will now assist her to getting to a new location so that you can get her statement and get paperwork and all that stuff going. And then, like, there's a whole machine that just starts running the moment that something happens. And the whole time you're doing this like in this real nonchalant kind of way, because you don't want this person who has claimed to have been in an injury situation to think that you're nervous or out of whack or whatever, because it just escalates. So it's just this kind of how you move, you know? And if you're dealing with Walmart customers, I'm sorry, once again, I'm sounding kind of messed up, I know, but Walmart customers is a different breed, man. So
And let me just repeat,
Sorry,
though, for the retail people out there, for people out there who you're in a situation that you hate and you don't know how to get out of, you're scared, there is a sign. You just put your thumb in and close your fingers around it. It is so easy to look like you're kind of scratching something, and to give someone that symbol very quickly. Please be on the lookout for that, and please know that.
Well, somebody needs to come teach people that one because I have never seen that. You sit there and do this right here with me. I think you trying to knuckle up on me, and I'm sitting here like I'm feeling threatened and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like
I'm
we need to
saying
have some. We need to have some.
if they were like, this, would you see that as
I may or
threatening?
may not, depending upon the context of the situation.
I'm more of a I'm more. Me and Thea's been in the streets probably darn near our whole life, so we're.
Not me. I ain't grew up. I'm a suburbanite.
See how quickly.
I've been in the streets longer than, so I'm a verbal person. I will pick up on clues.
But they can't give clues because they're in danger.
Well, no, technically not really. You will be amazed if you've been in the streets long enough. They will give involuntary clues to you. The way they act, the way they talk, the way
If
they
you
walk.
are perceptive
If you're
enough,
perceived that
yeah.
enough, but most of the time, if you're in a
You are in the tunnel. You're not
yeah,
thinking about
if
others.
some man is, and I'm saying some man, but if someone's being abused, I'll say it that way. If someone's being abused, that person is not going to say, "Hey, he's hitting me" or "She's hitting me,"
No, no,
because
no, no,
they're.
not that verbal thing. It's
Now you may notice something, but what happens a lot of times is people shrug it off. It's like, "Oh, I'm making too much of this," or "Oh,
They
I
did.
don't." Yeah, and
I don't
that's
see
what.
what I think I'm seeing. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
you lied to yourself
but
to
you
make yourself
also
feel
but
better.
subconsciously though you will think to yourself, hey, this is not my business. I'm just it. But subconsciously, and I'm speaking to myself subconsciously, but you will not look away anymore. Like
But
I'm
see,
not seeing what I think that
No,
I'm
because
seeing, but you
I've seen,
subconsciously keep looking in that direction, like just in case. You're not doing it on purpose, and that's what I'm saying about the involuntary acts of what people do. That you're
but
not purposely going out of your way to do it, but something that is in you that's saying, okay, but I'm looking in that direction for no apparent reason whatsoever. I'm not looking to
but
see
it,
what they're doing. I'm not seeing to see if there's something that's going to help, but something in your body that's involuntarily just making you look to the left for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I feel where I think you were. At least I think I feel where you headed with it. I think there's two different types of things though, right? Like there's the streets. The streets have a code of conduct. They have a way of moving. And if there's danger or something ain't right, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like being in the jungle, as they say, like something ain't right, like all the animals go quiet. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's a way that the street knows to react to such things. Um, but that's usually when we're talking about a shared danger. Where we as people, especially in America, where we struggle so much is that we suck as seeing someone else in danger because our automatic default is I don't want to be involved,
Yep.
right? Or I don't want to be wrong, right? Those are the two things that immediately pop up. And really, I don't want to be wrong is just another way of saying I don't want to be in danger.
It's the same.
So, yeah, so people just, they don't see things or they force themselves not to see things because they don't know how to react to it. And
yeah,
that is a different type of trigger than we're all out on the block having a good time and all of a sudden you see three people take off running.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure all of us have been. Well, I only talk about me. I know I've been in situations and I've walked away from it. It's like, why didn't I do something? Or what? Am I right about this? Am I right? Turns out I was probably right, but I don't know if it's you don't want to get involved. It's for me, it's I don't want to be wrong. Because what if I accuse somebody of something that they aren't doing? Right?
Could you not apologize for that and say
I could.
I was reading some signs and I was just trying to go for safety in the moment?
Yeah, because I've
the
seen a
apology
couple of
isn't always gonna be
yeah, because I've been in
well, yeah.
situations where mothers have
Okay. Yeah.
acted really straight. I mean, jerking their children around the store, things that I think are just completely unnecessary.
Speaking of Walmart, did anybody see the story? I forget what state it came from, but a mother brought her toddler into the store in the cart. He had a diaper on. That was it. And she
Yes, I
kept
saw that.
putting cold things like
In the
around
cart.
him. And people, they got uncomfortable with this. This little boy was just looking miserable. And this one Walmart lady, she risked her job. She lost her job
Yeah, she lost it.
because she recorded this. And that lady ended up losing her child.
What she should. You don't put, and you know, because you never, you know.
I don't have CPS, but what do you do when a child is
I don't
shivering?
I don't like
this
it, but
culture.
there's some
Go ahead,
things
Tracy.
I think should be. I'm sorry, Tia, go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead.
I don't like the let me pick up my camera instead of intervening and putting some clothes on the child.
Right.
But
So that was
something.
already happening.
Oh, that was already happened. Okay, because what
That
I
was
But
yeah, it's like
but
people who record fights. Why are you
we
recording that
live
instead
in
of
America.
interviewing?
We live in America where word to word context is not enough anymore. You
you need to prove it.
You need
But
that.
see,
Yeah,
I don't agree. I reject that, and here's why I reject that. Because the American, we use it as a cop out. We use it as a cop out now. We will literally see 36 people pick up their phone to record someone drowning instead of going to get the person
out the
who's
water.
drowning.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like get in the water and get them.
We got plenty of visuals of what happened. I'm in crisis. I don't need all the video of what happened. I need someone to stop it from happening. But we live in a society that our first impulse is the video. Like, remember the one where
there are security cameras. Not like it
cameras. Yeah, and all a camera can do is say what happened. Like it can't do nothing else for you. So like, remember the riverboat fight in Alabama, and everybody was like, "Yo, look at how the black people came together to handle these white racists and blah 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 blah." And I'm sitting here like, that's not what I'm seeing. Right? What I'm seeing is you got about 100 black people all with their cell phones out.
Yep.
The people who came and intervened were people who were directly tied to the man who was trying to do his job. It was fellow employees that jumped off the boat, who ran down the dock, right? There was a few individuals, but for the most part, there was a bunch of people with cell phones doing this, right?
Yep.
That's the world we're in. And I get why it happened, but I just reject it. Because you see a child and it's cold outside and they ain't got no clothes on, we're afraid to go to that parent or whoever the person is with the child and say, is there something I can do to help?
Oh, I got this.
And they did that. They first started, and the lady just belligerently pushed them away and said, "He fine."
That can happen. And that's where you end up at the next step where you have to call the police. But the thing about it is, what did you benefit by everybody having their cell phones out? Like, what did you really benefit?
Parker answered that question. I think a physical fight is a lot harder for someone to step in and intervene in.
Yeah, because you might get swung on.
That's totally two different things. Like, you want somebody to put their phone in their pocket and jump in, and
because
ain't nobody built like that.
I'm not saying that.
But if you think about it, though,
that we are talking about, though, sorry, they're just in the little child in the cart. There were, did I count? At least 3, if maybe 4 people who were all like, they were just getting clothes from.
They were paying for the clothes and buying it for the baby.
Yeah, and they were putting it on, like that was already happening, and I don't. Uh, I wouldn't record. It's not like I said. There's security cameras going on. Call the police. That child is in danger.
But here's what I will say though: if you think about recording it,
But
and I'll get back to what I'm trying to say here, and I hope I'm saying it right. If she didn't record it, how hard would that have been to prove? I mean, there's security cameras. Think of how long it's going to take. So you call the police. How long is it going to take the police to get there? This isn't a robbery. This isn't. You would hope they will respond fast. They're going to ask, "Hey, did you see something?" They'll do their interviews, etc., etc. So if they didn't tape it, or she didn't tape it, I don't know how likely the police would have been to believe her, and maybe they would have did it. And then
Different levels.
here's my other point I'm really trying to make. If somebody didn't record the George Floyd, him getting his neck stepped on like that, we never would have known. We never would have had any idea. And those cops that lied and said, "Oh, well, he died because of self-inflicted wounds," it would
No,
have been taken
I fully agree. I agree with that aspect of it. But what I'm saying is we've allowed ourselves to move to that being sufficient, right? So you had, if not for somebody snitching on and taking a video of the lynching of Ahmaud Arbery, it never would have gotten out to the point where that young man could get justice after he was gone. If not for the George Floyd situation and it being a perfect storm of someone not only recording it, but then you also had to have paramedics and everybody else on the scene that were trying to intervene, then that never would have got. I get all of that. But what I'm saying is you went into a Walmart with this child. That means there's a camera for you coming in. There's a camera while you were in there. And so, and I'm saying that people don't take video. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, why are you taking a video? Right? Like, if you're the person taking a video because you legit are going, not that you mean to, you are going to turn this over to the authorities to have something done, that's one thing. But that's not what most people are doing. Most people are taking a video so it can show up on TikTok or Instagram or something like that so they can say that I was there. I saw this. Can you believe this? Right? That's not the same thing as being a witness advocate. That's you just being like,
Yeah,
flexing
I'm
for the gram,
recording
as
it.
they say.
I'm with you there. I definitely would record it, but I would have called the police. I'm like, look, this is what I recorded. Although I don't know Walmart firing somebody, like, y'all know y'all trifle.
Yeah. But that's Walmart protecting itself from a lawsuit. That's all that
there's
is. Walmart's protecting itself from a lawsuit.
a social media contract that they make you sign. You will not talk about your job. You will not record while you are working. You will not while you're not working either. Just it's right in your contract now.
Oh, well, she broke it. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm gonna go on that point too. Like, just because it's in your contract doesn't mean you don't have to violate it sometimes.
Right.
Because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And unfortunately, the consequence of that sometimes can be your job.
Yeah.
But like in this case, but like in this case, you know what I'm saying, this is a child who appears to be in a bad situation. But there's so many things that could be going on here. Is this woman who's with the child, is she in a bad way?
Yes, she was.
Right? So if we call the police and literally the only thing keeping this woman sane is that she still has her baby. Her whole world fell apart around her, but at least she's got her baby. And then you just call the police without anyone trying to intervene in advance of the police. So all this math goes on, right? And it's no one's responsibility. I can't blame you for calling the police. I can't blame you for offering to get the baby some pants and a t-shirt. I can't blame you for looking at your person that you with and being like, can you believe this shit? Like, I can't blame any of those. All those responses are natural and they're normal. And there's no right or wrong here because the path can go so many different ways. right? You can say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna, ma'am, your baby ain't got no clothes. You know the baby ain't got no clothes. You got a jacket on, baby ain't got no jacket on. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you?" That's one option, which is a legitimate one.
They
It's like,
tried.
how
They
the hell are
tried
you
that,
right?
Yeah,
You
but she
covered,
kept
and the
saying
baby's not
no.
covered. What is this, right?
and she just was like, "I don't care."
But sometimes when you go to somebody,
It's how you
and
go
I'm
to
not
them.
making, and I'm not making an excuse for it, because sometimes there's literally no right way to do it. So
Right.
if this woman is not in her right mind, and
Mm,
you engage her, and you're saying, "Hey, can I help?" Right? You do everything right. You use the right tone. You did the right approach. Everything you did was textbook right. But she's not in her right mind. So she responds to you with aggression and blows you off. Then the next thing you can do is call for the authorities, because the ultimate responsibility is the safety of that child. Right? If she had been more receptive to the kindness, because it's all about, how did you come to this woman? Did you come to her like, "Hey, ma'am, I see your baby ain't got no clothes. Let me get some baby some clothes." And that can put somebody's
That
butt
was
on their shoulders, right?
that was one guy's approach. There was a little bit of an older woman who was like just very gentle and just clothing the baby, and she was just like, "This baby just needs some clothes. That's all." And she was like, "I'm gonna pay attention to him and wait for authorities."
Yeah.
The first guy, he was quite abrupt. There was another one who kind of tag teamed with him, and then I saw that lady, and she was the hero. She just got a shirt, jacket, pants, socks, everything he needed, and
But
clothed
you,
him.
yeah, you have to wonder when you see these things because, like I said, I've seen parents literally open hand slap their child, and then you hear parents saying, "Well, that's how I grew up." Well, just because you grew up that way, don't make it right. It don't make it
Fully
right.
agree.
Um,
Fully agree.
Mm,
But what I would love to see us to get to as a community, which is, this is so easily said, very hard to do. But you see someone open hand slap their child. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm one who believes that you never put your hands in your child's face. Just don't do that. Because it dehumanizes them, it breaks them. It's the whole nine. It's just horrible. You just don't do it. But you see someone do that. One response is violation. Call child protective. Call the police. We gonna come down on them. The whole nine. Let's go. That's one. The other one, which is where this police reform movement would help us get closer to, is when the police show up, there's a social worker with them, and
yeah,
then they actually can able to diagnose what's the situation that this family is in, right? Which is much more involved than a quick reaction that a police
yep.
officer would have,
there
and
was at
say,
least
okay,
one more child at home. Like
yeah,
there
like,
was a
where are you
lot.
staying? What is the environment like? You know,
Mhm, there
or
was a
what is
lot.
what are the emotional pressures that you're under? Like, I watched this couple documentaries. I watch these from time to time just to keep my mind right, and they're talking about like poverty in America, and you see these guys, man, they get up, their family is living in a tent city, right? Because they had to leave wherever they were because life wasn't working out for them, and then they come here and they're living in a tent. You know what I'm saying? With a bunch of strangers, all rejects from society, and he's getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to go stand online to hope to get a job, to hope just for one day to be able to go on a site and bang some nails or something like that. You know what I'm saying? What that does to your soul, man, what that does to your heart, and
Hmm.
then that pain is so heavy and so dark that it's almost irrational to think that you wouldn't try to deaden that pain. So now you end up also doing alcohol or drugs, or you are already on those things. This is what helped put you in the situation. But the reality is, I still have a child to take care of. I still got this woman that I
But
love. Even, yeah, go ahead.
no,
What?
what I was talking about, what I was getting at is though, too many times when I see that situation, I see other parents saying, "Yep, that's what they need," and I'm like, "No, that's not what they need." You know, when one of my sisters spanked her nephew, I was like, "Don't do that. You can't tell me anything. You don't have children." No, I don't have children, but I can be concerned about children. I can be concerned at the message that you're sending. I used to be a child. I've every
Right? Like we all been there.
I know. I'm like, what would think about how you were. You know, I'm not one for corporal punishment at all.
But
I'm not.
there are levels. But Tracy, there's levels, right? Like me, I don't believe that you put your hands on your child. Like I don't think it's necessary. If you raise your child in such a way that you help them think and you help them process, yes, it's slower. Yes, it's more frustrating. Yeah, it's hard, right? And sometimes you're gonna slip and you're gonna pop that behind because what they did was just too reckless at that moment. But at the like, because I'm not with a gentle parenting thing. I'm not with the free range children and everything is, well, Billy, let's talk it out. That's not me, right? But at the same time, I'm not one who says you need to put your hands on your child because what are you teaching your child? And
Violence
where
is
did
the
you get it
answer.
from?
You got it from your
Where'd you get
parents,
it
and you
from?
got it from, and
Well,
nobody
I'm
really
saying where did we get it from as black people?
slave.
We
We
got
picked it up from slavery.
correcting bad behavior was met with physical punishment. We
Punishment.
got that from the slave master. We did
Sure
not
did.
get that from anywhere else. But
Say that to
but
anybody you go to a black church. They're gonna be like, well, when
right.
I
But
grew
there's
up,
levels to it.
All
There's
right.
no.
levels to it
All
because there's some
right.
people who believe in whoopings. They
I
do.
have to stop. I have to stop right here. I have to stop right here. I have to stop. Great. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's great content. I appreciate it. Nobody did anything wrong. I
I know I ain't do
appreciate
no
it.
wrong.
But we're just going on. I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, Marlon's trying
But
to.
we got to move on
Javier
today.
told him he has to move on, so we could.
Trust me. Don't worry about Javier. Mafia
Javier's.
video of the week.
Poor Javier. We'll never forget you, Javier. We'll never forget you, homie.
Who?
Power to the people.
One time, homie. One time.
Yep. He ain't have a one time. All right. I had to show this video. This video is the Mafia video of the week is from Anna. Anna specifically said she wanted this video to be played because she wanted a conversation between me and Thea's on it. I don't have that much to add to it, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna let you know that now because I've said what I've said like 2-3 years ago. I think I've said what I said. So if you want to add some more context, Tracy and Anna, you can, but I've already said what I had to say for it. You cannot understand my pain.
The first day I realized I was black, it was 2000. We had just learned about blacks for the first time in second grade. At recess, all the white kids chased me into the wood chanting slave. My mother said I refused to come out for 3 hours. Said she thinks I was lost in the trees, but I just needed to be closer to my roots.
As a woman, having a boyfriend is a battle. If 70% of us are abused in a lifetime, what is the number of men doing it? The answer is not one man running faster than light to complete a mission, and that is what leaves me sick.
The second day I realized I was black was in a gas station. I only had 25 cents, so I searched what to spend it on. The cashier floated from aisle to aisle, eyes fixed on my hands. That was the first time I realized skin color was a crime.
My body has become calls to write legislation, calls for ass smacks in the back of a class. My body has demanded everything except respect. I've been asked, what makes you feel unsafe? And I struggle not to yell.
Everything. The third day I realized I was black was in an all-white cafeteria. I gathered my legs under me, made rockets on my feet, and approached a girl. She told me she was not into my type of guy. I felt the words shoot daggers into my melanin. I have never wanted to disappear so bad.
As a woman, I've learned to answer to everything except my name. Little lady is not said to mean equal, but to make sure I remember my place. I battle between wanting to own my body and accepting there's a 1 in 4 chance a man will lay claim to my skin, a plot of land for the taking.
The last day I realized I was black was in an elevator in California. To the white woman that told me she knows what it feels like to be black because she grew up poor, I would tell you to think before you speak, but your mind has got to be bacteria infected. And any filter through that labyrinth of nothingness might be worse than no thought at all.
There's a group of women going around the room sharing their personal definition of feminism. He is the only man in the room, and all of a sudden, the tone switches to destroying the patriarchy by annihilating all men.
Do you know what it feels like to be black? To pop lock your way in and out of hugs, it is not a problem you want to sympathize. But to tell me you know my pain is to stab yourself in the leg because you saw me get shot. We have 2 different wounds, and looking at yours does nothing to heal mine.
Never will I turn away an ally.
But when a man speaks on my behalf, that only proves my point.
Movements are driven by passion, not by asserting yourself dominant by a world that already put you there. You speak to no pain, you only fathom because we told you it was there. You know nothing of silence until someone who cannot know your pain tells you how to fix it. Every day is a crucifixion when there is no regards for lines crossed.
I fight so my voice can be heard. I fight for the voices you silence, all in the name of what is right.
The problem is you assume this struggle is attached to a social class. I am black and bold and beautiful by nature. Ain't no income that can change that.
The problem with speaking up for each other
is that everyone is left
without a voice.
So let me go ahead and just say this again. As I said, we got some new people watching. Maybe you don't know my tech. I apologize for saying I said this years ago, but you wasn't here years ago. So I apologize. You have no idea what my thought process is. I have no problem saying for you telling me as a black man, I sympathize with what's going on. Sympathize is the right word. You feel what things are going on that is wrong. I won't say a word to it. Where you will always get pushback from me is saying, I understand. No, you don't. You will never, as a white man, as a white woman, understand. You could read the history, you could read all the history books that you want to. You will not understand. I have become old school late in life. Really. Be honest with you, my old school didn't come until after the pandemic. Well, yeah, something before the pandemic or something like that, to the effect, where my world has been flipped upside down. And I remember, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I had an argument with somebody who I was saying, I showed a video of a guy, not a video, but I was putting up a tweet or something of a black guy who says they put Velcro on the dashboard of their car. And on the other side of that Velcro, whatever the fluffy part of the Velcro is, he puts it on his wallet. And he Velcros his wallet to the dashboard of his car. So when he's ever pulled over and the cop says, give me your information, they can see where his hands is at all times. Because he's afraid of what happened when his hands disappear for that split second to get his information. And I apologize to say this, but I have to be real on this show. It was a white person who I've known for a long time who came in and go, I understand exactly how it feels to be pulled over by the cops. And I've argued with him and he still didn't get it. No, you don't understand. Because your argument is, oh my God, I hope I don't get a ticket. Our understanding is, oh my God, I hope I don't die. So stop saying you understand. You have a liberty. You will have less fear because of the skin of the color of your skin. Just let's call it the way it is. We ain't got to go into history and qualms and equality and economics and all this other stuff. Let's just call it the way it is. You have less fear because of the color of your skin. You could not understand it because the color of my skin has been on display since day zero. That's not hyperbole. Because there's a chance I'm not making it out that hospital. If I have the same illness or disease as my fellow white baby that I'm laying beside. Day zero. If I make it past day zero, the clock starts to tick. And it has nothing to do with everything that you try to throw at this as if it's everything but. Miss me. Tired of it. So for the new people who's watching this show, now you know where I stand. If you think I'm going to argue with you because you happen of the millions of infections that has affected the Black community that you came across, one of them, two of them, maybe even three of them, that you understand our plight, you still don't get it. I don't understand how it's to be. Let's count the ways. Being white, being a woman, having a disease, having to live every single day with it. I can sympathize with her. I will never, ever, ever understand it. It's impossible. So there's my little rant. You know where I stand. This will be chopped up and put online. And if you have something to say about it, feel free. But you would be dismissed, as I have done to so many people before.
Sound a little different. I'll be honest with you. It all depends on the mood that I'm in or the way that you came to me. Just real talk. If you come to me in a vein of ignorance or like I'm supposed to somehow respect who you are just because of who you are, no, that ain't gonna roll too well. But at the same time, if you come to me sincerely, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may not use all the right words. And I think it's important that as I've said in the past, it's all about what you want to get out of it. So if what I'm trying to get out of this interaction, or what if you're the one coming to me, that you want to get out of this interaction is that we move further into understanding or working on a particular project or focus, things like that, then I am going to reduce my guard, so to speak, to allow you to make mistakes, right? I think it's important that you have to do that if you're trying to accomplish a goal. And what oftentimes stops white people from having discussions with black people and black people from having discussions with white people is that we're afraid we'll use the wrong terminology and it'll send us off on a whole new tangent. And now I'm in some shit that I don't even know what to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to know how you felt about something, but because I don't have a lot of experience in this, I came to you in a very kind of like closed off way, and now I've offended you, and because I've offended you, we're at war, and because you snap back at me, now I'm a human being. So when you snap back at me, I'm gonna get my, you know what I'm saying, up, and I'm snap back. Like I'm not gonna. Like now we're in a conflict situation. So it all depends on why we're talking to each other and what we're talking about. I think that's really important. And more often than not, because you guys have heard me, I'm not in the business of educating white folks on black experiences. I'm not in that business. I ain't got time for that shit. I took time to study what I know. I'm constantly trying to learn more. If you haven't at least started that journey, then you probably don't want to have certain conversations with me, right? So, it's just kind of how that flows. But I do think that it's important. It's really important to give people grace. They're not always going to know the right words, man. You might be looking for, like, for example, one of the things that my man Marlon brought up here was about sympathy. Sympathy means that you've actually experienced something similar to what I'm going through. You can't sympathize with certain things. You just can't. But you can empathize. You don't understand it, right?
Other way around.
But you understand the pain.
Other way around.
And empathize is to have gone through it. You empathize with that. Sympathize is to be on the outside.
Okay.
Sorry, just
what she said. But yeah, it's just like no. Well, for one thing, so I'm gonna slide all the way back in here to reframe this. One thing is talking to my brothers and my sisters out there. Understand who the fuck you talking to. You know what I'm saying? Stop centering whiteness in your discussions. They ain't no better than you. They're no worse than you. They're no better than you. They're a whole different person. So why are you so fucking concerned about them understanding you? Fuck that. What can we talk about that will move us towards something that we can agree on? I don't need you to fully understand my history. What I need you to understand is don't you tell me I don't know my own damn history. You can't tell me I don't know my own lived experience. Oh, it's not that bad. No, motherfucker, it is that bad. I'm telling you it's that bad, right? But if you are centering everything within the scope of like a Eurocentric way, then you'll oftentimes find yourself in an argument that you don't need to be in. And now you blaming somebody for not understanding you when they're not you. You have put an unfair expectation on this other person. You don't know what it's like to be black. Your ass know they don't know what it's like to be black.
Why are you mad about that?
So why are you mad that they don't understand all the intricacies of what it is to be black? You don't know all it takes to be white. You got some understanding because whenever you're not in first place, you got to learn other people. But you don't fully understand. You don't fully understand all the shit that they deal with. You don't. Stop pretending like you do. Stop it. So it's like, that's one of the things that really annoys me. And I think it's important that we have to ground ourselves individually and as a group to decide what it is that you want out of this interaction and how much grace are you willing to give this other person in this communication. And if you're not willing to give them any grace, then you don't need to have this particular conversation. You need to just go ahead and have a battle. Like y'all just need to fight. If that's all you gonna do, then just do the fight shit, right? But if you're actually trying to move the discussion forward, then you gotta give people grace, man. Just got to.
All right, Anna. This was your video.
Well, I really want to ask Tracy, do you have any words?
I wonder why Marlon never picks my videos anymore.
Okay,
Can't
then.
answer that one. Marlon, what you got?
Yeah.
Literally, such the worst topic to worry about you.
It's always about me. Don't know where you been.
Well,
I don't have. I mean, Tia said every. What am I gonna do? Add more? He said everything that needed to be said.
You might have had something as a woman.
she worried about herself. And by the way, Tracy, your video is tomorrow.
Oh well, my apologies.
Whatever.
She apologizes and you just reject it.
People do that all the time. I've asked for forgiveness. People like, nope. I'm like, okay.
What did you tell me, Piers?
Y'all don't believe in forgiveness.
It's up to them if they accept it.
That is true. That is a very true.
Yeah, you do say that, which hey, I can only offer it.
There you go.
I did my part.
This is a great organization called Button Poetry that searches throughout the country to find young authors of poetry who are so eloquent. And yes, Parker, how many times they had to rehearse that to get the in sync. Ooh, and the looks between them, it was very well done. It said a lot in under a couple of minutes. So, a couple of things that jumped out at me were the audience's reactions. They did not react to a young boy being chased by his classmates into the woods. They started to stir when it was women and losing our autonomy, probably because Roe versus Wade, and it's raw. I'll say that. But there was not any outward recognition for what that young man had to say until the end. And it was more saying to the lady, if you think you understand, you must have a brain full of bacteria. That audience gasped. Poetry, good poetry, it is supposed to make you feel some kind of way. And it is also to illustrate, to pull out the hypocrisy in society. I would hope that audience would do a little self-reflection. Why were they so willing to react to the woman's plight? And why was the only reaction to the young man a gasp of surprise? So it's just one little thing, just the psychology behind that is fascinating.
Well, for me, and I'm glad you illustrated those, you elevated those points. So this goes into some of the work that I believe in, right? Which is why you hear me saying about uncensored whiteness and things like that. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that as like a negative towards white culture or white communities or white. I'm saying for your own self benefit and self healing, you need to learn how to focus on yourself. You know, black folk, focus on yourself. Life is a competition, and we are all competing. Now, if you can't identify with your team, then your team will never really get strong enough in the competition to be able to place higher and do more. White people generally, like you were just saying, like, why could they react to her, but they couldn't really react to him? Well, he's an anomaly.
Right.
He is external to their lived experience. Plenty of white people in America can go their whole day and never see one of us unless they turn on the TV. Okay? So,
I
but we
believe
all
that
have a
was in
woman,
Charlotte, South Carolina.
perhaps, but we still live in very isolated communities. So
Okay.
those of us who live in a very interactive community where we work with different cultures, sometimes we do better, sometimes we actually do worse. But that's a different thing. But what I'm saying is we all have a woman in our lives. Like it's like very few of us don't have a woman in our lives. We got a daughter, a sister, a niece, a mama, a grandmama, right? But you don't necessarily have a black person in your life. And one of the ways I illustrate this is when I'm talking to like black people, because we get lost in the black white dynamic way too much. I ain't worried about white folk. Okay. What I would like, but what I try to illustrate the point though is when's the last time you thought about the plight of the Filipino? That's my
Hmm.
favorite group to pick at. When's the last time you thought about the plight of the Filipino in America? What's their life like? What do they deal with? What are some of their obstacles? The way that you go your whole day and your whole week and your whole month and never once think about Filipinos, that's how they can live their life about you. What makes you so damn special that they need to think about you every day? Ask yourself that. You have an unrealistic expectation of someone else to be obsessed with your experience. They do not owe you that. Here's what white America owes black America. You owe reparations through the government, not you individually, because you individually didn't do anything. So the government owes reparations to the black community. That's about it. Okay. Other than that is don't get in the way. Don't create funky ass laws to keep people from being able to vote and stop making all these little crazy obstructions to people being able to get a job. But if we could get the reparations part straight, then we can start building our own businesses, starting to catch up with some of the economic indicators. Because you turn around and you give everybody, making up a number, $3.5 million. That's a lot of us that's going to turn around and start some businesses and start some factories and start some real businesses, right? Right now, the issue that we have in Black America is we are dealing with a complete system of obstruction, so that when we try to start a business, we're starting it on a shoestring versus our peers who can go and start a business with $300,000 because they can go get a loan because of the history that they are able to tap into, right? That's your disparity. It's the ability to start your professional life at a level of parity. Take care of that. We'll take care of the rest, all of that. We can stop with this, and then I'm going my little soapbox. We can stop obsessing about somebody else not sharing. Right now, the big fight is about DEI and the new form of affirmative action and all those types of things, which is basically saying, hey, white people, you need to share access to your business so that we can have well-paying jobs and have careers too. Yes, you kind of should do that. That's kind of being a decent person. But let's be real. If we had our own businesses and we were able to own our own structures, where we were able to hire people of any and every ethnicity and background out there, just like these other white-owned companies can do, then Much of that can really fade into the background. So, what is it that you really after? You want white folks to share what they have, or do you want the opportunity to build something of equal and greater value? And I'm on that second piece. We don't have to fight about diversity, equity, and inclusion if you're able to build your own alternative structures. And now the test will come to us. The test will come to us then. What do you do when you have a multi-million, multi-billion dollar company? Who do you hire? How fair are you with your hiring practices? Can you live up to the same standards that you have for the white people to do when you have the equal ability to do it? Or will you hire your own people? Will you put preference over black employment? Will that be wrong? See, folks don't want to ask these questions, man. They don't really want to get into it. What does it really take to have freedom in America? Forget this equality stuff. Equality is a lie. There's no such thing as equality. What does it take to actually have the freedom in America? And are you up to the challenge? I'll rest my case.
Well said.
Mafia videos of the week.
Don't you
Only
mean
for
Foxy videos of the week?
What
He
did I
did.
say?
You said Mafia videos of the week. I was like, there's more? I'm like, oh.
Damn it, Thiz, your damn vodka done came through the screen. It is messing up.
I ain't got no more vodka. It's empty.
Look at that big cup. Show that cup again.
So see what had happened, right?
You drinking that much? Okay, I don't know anything about alcohol,
what
but
had
that
happened.
seems like a lot.
Vodka, good
See what
Lord.
see what had happened, right? I didn't measure it properly.
You ain't measure at all.
If you drink all of that, no, oh gosh, that can't be healthy. That cannot be healthy.
Well, you didn't measure.
Talking about vodka actually is a very low calorie drink.
Yes, but the alcohol content is high, right?
It's moderate, but in many European cultures, especially in the Russian culture, vodka is used as a substitute for many forms of water because you can't always trust the water sources. So with the refinement process of vodka allows you to get the H2O
But
in a
you
way that's
live in the
safer for
United States.
This is also true, which is why there's a flaw in my rationale.
Yeah, I'm like, but you tell me what they do in Russia. You live. I mean, I know Georgia used to be a country over in the Soviet Union, but they not no more.
I literally took a different take of what Thiz just said.
That can't be healthy.
Thiz's whole comment of stop centering whiteness. That was his whole argument, and he argued around it. As soon as we talked about alcohol, dude went to the European.
Yeah, I'm like, the what?
What?
But that's just a historical reference point. That's not censor anything. I can't use Africa. We don't do vodka in Africa like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not intrinsic to the culture. So I couldn't say that. But vodka does come out of Europe and Russia. I'm just saying, giving them their props. It is what it is.
That seems like a lot to me. I'm sorry, not to be judgmental. I'm not really trying. That seems a lot to me.
I'll know in the morning, depending upon how my head feels.
Anna, you said what?
You might not have the entire thing filled. A lot of people.
Yeah, that was gonna be. Maybe that was should have been my question. Did you fill it?
He did.
No, it was cool.
Anna, see, you tried it.
I tried.
It admits it with something else. My argument with Thea since the beginning of the show, by the way, for people who like to get a behind the scenes of this show, he keeps using, I may have measured it wrong. Dude, You poured a drop of something and then the rest of it is liquor is not measurement.
No, that's not how it went. See, okay, so this is the cup, right? This is the cup. You gonna get the whole view? Is that about the whole view? All right. This is a large cup. I ain't gonna lie. This is a big ass cup.
And you
But
filled it up?
no, kind of.
Not with
So
not with the
up to
vodka.
like here was like
That still
vodka,
seems.
and then
Okay.
all of this was lemonade. So
Ah,
that's what happened.
But you know the
That
funny thing
still
about
seems a
you
lot to me.
that I have figured out though, that I have figured out about you.
half and half, huh?
When you are silly, cause dude, you were silly when you are vodka.
Oh.
But it is amazing to me that there is no way that vodka ran through your system in what 10, 20 minutes. Because when you was on the black issues of
Were you
society,
drinking before?
I'm not drunk. That's
you're
why.
oh no, we'll see tomorrow.
No, seriously. I
Don't
mean,
be talking about, I got a headache. I got a headache.
I might because I'm over 40 and alcohol ain't nice to you. Over 40. I don't know what happened.
Ricochet.
Some happen at age 30 where your tolerance drops, and then at age 40 it's like, yo, dude, you knew better.
See,
You
this is why
stick
I'm
with the wine
like,
cooler.
I would be messed up if I drink alcohol. Messed
Oh,
up
you
from the
would,
toe
yeah,
up.
because you have no tolerance.
Never went there.
Uh,
I'd be all on the floor.
Okay,
I
Tracy,
drink a little
Tracy,
bit of
let me ask
liquor
you
and I don't know what happened.
have you ever been drunk ever in your life?
No, I don't. I've
She
never
doesn't
drank.
drink.
I
Doesn't drink.
don't know what alcohol tastes like.
So there you go. Yes.
Oh, you know what it tastes like? It's like
No, I don't.
Robitussin.
I can't take Robitussin. I have diabetes.
Some of them are
Oh.
tasteless. So,
What do you take for medicine? Like if you got a bad cold, a
If
bad cold.
I would take probably some Benadryl
I don't know. I'll never take Benadryl. So I don't know.
because
Mhm.
anything liquid I can't take NyQuil. I can't take Robitussin. I can't take that other one. No.
That's unfortunate because Theraflu gets me through some tough times.
Yeah, that's the other one I can't take. I can't take.
Theraflu was my friend for some years.
Yeah, me and Theraflu, we good. We're a good friend. And now they got that honey flavored Theraflu.
Let's go ahead and move on for LL starts saying it's 3 hours and 4 hour show. So let's go ahead and move on. Get your hands off my wife.
Bucky.
Really?
You gonna have to stop with this arm on my. Bucky, give me your attention, bro.
Really?
Oh, okay. All right, this is bullshit.
It's just what happens when they worry.
What the?
That's
That's
his woman.
disrespect.
He messed up. That's his woman. Bucky, like, yo, I think he talking to you, man. He ain't talking to me.
You're like, bruh, you don't know how close we are. You
I
really
wish
don't.
I had a dog. Dogs are so cool.
Please, your wife doesn't want a dog. You can't have one.
I want a dog.
Get a plush one. Get one of those stuffed little fake dog, robot dogs.
That ain't the same thing. I want a dog.
I want a dog.
I want a full personality dog.
But why don't you get a dog? Marlon doesn't talk like dogs.
No, I wanted a dog. I want a dog.
So I'm saying if Foxy's good with it, go get a dog.
She's not good with it. She had her dog, and now we're done.
Oh, it died, didn't it? I bet the dog died.
No, we could have had a dog way before we started traveling. So
That's what they love to say. Man, look, they always love to say that stuff. Well, we can't have a dog because then we can't travel. Man, please. We travel for a week at a time. We can still go.
we had a dog when the kids were young, when the kids was in the house. and everything else, and we wasn't traveling. I said, well, you got your dog, now I want my dog. Now the years have gone. This is the same thing as let me just play the clock out. And now let's travel. Let's do things. We can't have a dog.
Well, if you travel a lot, you can't, because then you got to get a dog sitter, doggy
You
daycare.
can too. Look, when your kids
absolutely can.
Can't have a
because
dog
that's
when
money
you
to
got
have somebody
kids.
watch your dog, though. You can't leave the dog in the house by itself. So where
See,
you
you
go do
can't
with the
have a
dog when you go
dog.
on vacation?
You can't have a dog when you got kids in the house because all your money's going to the kids. Okay, so then the kids are gone. So it's like, yo, I want a dog. Well, no, but that gets in our way of being able to go on a cruise or go, fly out of the country or spend extra time in, I don't know,
Hey,
Ocho del Rios
you
or
sound
whatever.
like the
But you like,
you
but
sound
no,
like
we
the
got kids. We got grown kids.
your
Hey,
kids aren't grown.
get this dog. We coming by. We gonna drop
But
the
your
dog
wife
off.
said she doesn't want a dog. Respect that.
That I'm not gonna respect that. I'm gonna tolerate it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna suffer through it.
Hold on this. Because Tracy, I knew we was gonna get into it. It is amazing how respect that goes regardless.
It's a one-way street.
Your wife wants a dog. Respect that. Your wife don't want a dog.
Respect either way. My answer is consistent.
It is amazing how that works.
Sure does. That's called Tracy logic. Thank you.
It goes literally one way.
The woman's way. I don't know why you have a problem with this.
I have no idea why you don't understand why I have a problem with
I mean,
that.
I don't get it. I'm like, what it makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me.
I have a problem with that.
If Foxy wants a dog, you get one. If Mrs. Robinson, because I forgot what his wife's name is. Thank you. If Timmy says no dogs, then it's no dogs.
Why is it that everything is based off what y'all
want? We run the household.
It should be a compromise.
It should be a compromise.
It is a compromise. We want something, they don't want something, and we compromise on not having it.
But then you complain about it.
What she asked for.
I said get a robot dog. Did I not give him a solution? I said, hey, get a robot dog.
No robot dog.
You could also take your kids and volunteer at a shelter once a week.
Volunteer.
That ain't my dog. That ain't my dog. And now I gotta go through. Now I gotta go through the trauma of being a foster dog person because as soon as I get attached to the dog, you didn't turn around and gave the dog away or didn't put my dog down. I don't need that kind of trauma in my life.
Wow, does your wife like cats? Oh no, but you hate cats. Never mind.
Oh, I can't stand no cat, man. And then bad enough we got these cats. Okay.
Oh God!
For those of you on my,
Marlon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I
don't know what happened. What's that?
What happened? What? Why? Who?
Oh, a robot dog. Yeah.
So why did you bring up cats?
I don't know. I forgot.
For those of you who are on my timeline on Facebook, so I have a house with like a full front porch, like it goes the whole front of the house, and it's elevated. So I'm the only one on my cul-de-sac whose house sits up like that. So all the cats, well, not all the cats, a couple cats every year move in underneath my porch because it's screened in and they can hide in there and raise their little fur ball monsters. And so that's what they do. And I'm like, okay, the other day I'm getting ready to go out. I work from home most days. I get ready to go out and get something to eat. I open the door. I do the little crack of the door so they don't try to come in. And then I go step out the door and close the door, lock the door. Everything's normal. And all of a sudden I jump. Because 2 feet from me, literally 2 feet from me, is a cat just chilling, just looking at me like he was waiting on me. Look, dude, you don't live here. Okay? Go down the block. So I'm like, nah, man, you got to go. He's just looking at me like, no, man, I'm good right here. This is not okay. So then I go buy one of the little things from Amazon. It cost me like $60, man. So I can like try to scare the cat away. And then my friends are like, no, don't scare the cat away. It might be there to protect you. So now I feel conflicted. So I haven't put the machine out yet. But I think I'm gonna put the machine out anyway.
Give them
Hey,
little
Sati.
Garfields and Garfields and Heathcliffs. Yeah, I had to think of another famous cat. I was like,
Heathcliff is cool.
He could be my favorite cartoon cat.
Garfield was better.
Garfield had better books.
And comics and cartoons.
Heathcliff was always my boy. That was my morning cartoon before I went to school.
See, when Heathcliff was big, I was in Germany. So the only people who could watch Heathcliff were like the kids who had the British channel. So those were the kids with money. I only had AFN, Armed Forces Network Television. So you ain't get Heathcliff.
You might see the Fresh Prince of Bel Air in German.
Now back then, so I was a kid back then. So back then it was watching Cosby Show. So this is how bad the delay was. In the Cosby Show, they had like every season they had a different kind of theme going on with how the music in a show came on. So while you guys over here were watching them dancing around in top hats and tuxedos, I was still watching them get out that van.
They gave you the Cliff. How come we had 4 children next season? Oh, here comes off. How come we didn't have 5 children? Because you wanted 4. Here come the fetch. Oh yeah, you was way.
And we were like 2 years behind everything.
Ooh, you was way behind.
Back then, family members would have to send you VHS tapes so that you could be less behind.
Her name is Sati. That's Saathee. It is a Hindi word for companion. Her full name is Sati Shadow. She is my companion shadow. She is my cardiac alert, medical alert service dog. And she's incredible.
Yeah, that dog is cute. Almost makes me want to get a dog, but I have my own reasons because I'm single. I don't have to ask them.
German Shepherd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Oh God!
See, I just want a little dog, like one of the ones not the little Chihuahuas. They're annoying, but the little ones, like the ones that are bigger than Chihuahuas, but not big as French poodles. Like somewhere
like a
in between.
Bashan or a Pekingese.
Yeah, but not that I can carry in my purse.
A Jack Russell, a medium-sized
So bigger than a purse dog?
Yeah, bigger than a purse dog.
Oh,
but not so big that the dog is like attacking me. I don't need a pit bull. I don't need a Doberman Pinscher. I don't need a German Shepherd.
You know what?
I don't need none of them dogs.
People give pit bulls a bad rap. Those things, like I used to give them a bad rap.
I'm sorry, you said pit bull. I thought you said beagle. Yeah. My
pit bulls are some scary looking things. But my goodness, they're the most goofy, lovable dogs in the world. It's ridiculous how goofy those little dogs are. But no, I did say beagle, Anna, because like I was trying to find a dog that's big enough that I wouldn't look down on it, but small enough that my wife wouldn't feel terrified by it. So beagle kind of fits right in there.
I brought him a pit bull.
Don't get a Jack Russell. Why not?
What's with you? And we got to move on because it is getting really late. But what's with you and Jack Russell?
Is that a type of dog?
Type of dog.
It is a type
Jack
of
Russell
dog.
Terrier.
Why anything but?
She may have experience with Jack Russell.
And then you got to buy dog food. You can't buy that dry dog food. You have to have actual food, and that costs money. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't got that money. So a nice little.
You can teach them to drink kibble. They can eat sawdust and unfortunate flakes.
Nah, I would not be doing. If I want to go on vacation, then you got to get doggy care. Then you got to get
Because they're neurotic and I have one.
My parents are afraid to leave me alone. This is a dog that they know I could be alone and she could support me in certain ways that they can go for like an hour or two, do what they need to out there. And There is a lot, and like pit bulls, your kids will never be so safe if you train them right. And recognize, yes, as Thea said, there's a whole personality in these dogs, and each individual one. Get to know it, love it, respect it, and you will have an incredible friendship for many years. I know people who, if they keep their dogs healthy enough, German Shepherds, in general, you'd be lucky to see a 12-year-old dog. I know some that are keeping on their 18-year-old, 19-year-old dogs. Like,
And that's the
That's the
hardest
other
part
problem.
about having a
Yeah,
dog.
that's the
well,
part I
it
can't
is.
deal
It
with. I'll be
is.
like,
You have to say
oh,
goodbye
Lassie.
at
Around
some
Because,
about
point.
age 12, around about age 12,
yep, I couldn't do with it.
you lose them, and that's tough.
I
But if
respect
you
that.
know that that's what the situation is, it'll never prepare you for it because it's like
Yep.
your baby. But
Yep.
you know that that's the situation. So but the great thing about dogs is they're literally going to give you their all every day of their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's no wasted time. You know what I'm saying with a dog.
Yep.
Cats though, I don't know about them.
She
Added
has
too
That's
taught
much.
what I don't
herself
want to
how
become
to
attached.
detect
I'm like,
my
nope.
heart rate. Like, how incredible is that? That dogs can sense that something is wrong with you and alert you. She saved me from falling many times.
I think cats can do it too. They just don't care.
Some?
All right, everybody, let's move
All
on.
right.
Next video, cheap ass friends.
Can we get this one right here, please? Yeah, here you go. Thank you so much. Here you go, Ella. 1, 2, ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much.
I feel like I missed something.
I need better friends if that happens.
Y'all too
Really?
cheap to buy the
Just
cake.
get him
That
a
cake is
cake.
like, what? It's like $8, $9, maybe 10?
Give him a cake.
At most, is a $20 cake, and I got
Right.
6 friends around me.
6 of them, they
I
couldn't
got
have chipped in
problems.
and got. Damn ain't no
They coulda
friends.
gotten him the
With friends like
cake.
them, who needs enemies? Oh my goodness. Take y'all cheap behinds and sit on down.
Marlon.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
all right.
just, give us the cake. Nope, we'll put it back. They got the,
cake.
just look,
That
I
is
mean,
so
what's that cake? At
rude.
most $25, y'all
Oh,
sit.
good. I want some cake.
Last video of the night, just so I can mess with Tracy.
Uh-oh.
Talented dad.
30 seconds, bro. Make it count.
You just gonna
See?
keep it
Go,
up with the
mama.
cute little babies.
All she asked him to do,
Was watch the
watch
baby.
the baby while I go try on these clothes. That's all she asked him to do.
Marlon just gonna keep on trying to give me baby fever. This is not funny anymore. This is not funny anymore. This is sad that you look for videos of absolutely cute babies and just say, oh yeah, Tracy, did it?
It gives you some dopamine. It makes you smile.
Like I can go out and have a baby. 50
You
years
don't
old.
have to.
And I have
Just don't do it in
type 1
Alabama.
diabetes.
Go, boy.
Oh,
Uncle, Grandpa. Auntie, Grandma.
Just tell everybody where they can find you.
Hey, y'all can find me on Complex Mind Simple Man, or you can find me more likely on Our United Core or you can find me here with Marlon and the crew. Yeah, that's the best place that you're gonna find me right there.
Tracy.
Oh, next week I probably be on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday again. Tracy Media LLC. TracyMediaLLC.com is where you can find all my videos. Thank you.
Anna, thank you, LL. That's so sweet. Thank you. Anna.
I am at BoreliaEtc. Also Borelia Etc. on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ.
I appreciate Diaz, I appreciate Tracy, I appreciate Anna. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
So I guess I'll have to actually finish what I was saying, like in a comment.
Ted Cruz has been kind of quiet.
No, you don't.
Has anyone told
Oh, we're
y'all
still
that-
live by the chance, Wade.
We're still live. Oh, cool.
Anna didn't finish her statement. Anna, I apologize. That was so.
No, actually, it was way before, with the poetry. The moment has passed. I will get it in a comment.
I'm not gonna get no sleep tonight. We
Well,
will see.
nobody didn't know about all that. TMI.
We will see you when we see you. Peace.
Is Tim Scott still engaged?
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but Joe Biden is old.
And so is Trump.
In his 80s.